Against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
Big up everybody tuned in. If you're on YouTube, smash the like button. Time to intro pending. Second time. Hit the like. And one fan time.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on. As Ian Wright just said there himself, people deluded, I'm back again, regardless of if you're on Twitch or YouTube. Appreciative to you lot tuned in. If you're on Twitch, make sure you're subscribing with Amazon Prime and you're actually following the channel. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're hitting the like button and you're also subscribing. It boosts the YouTube algorithm and we get out there. I'll get the lineup done for you lot in just a second. I am pressed for time. Big up you lot on Twitch especially, and some of you on YouTube, because we've done a couple of streams today, which is why I'm slightly behind on preparing for this one. But we're here now, and again I want to say big up to you lot. I hope you lot are doing well and safe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases good night. Hope you and your loved ones are doing great. Thank you for rocking in. Now Newcastle have taken the Champions League by storm. They said group of death, and they might have been right, but it don't look like it's for Newcastle. The job's not done. But if they claim 3 points today to go with a great 3 points or previously at home against PSG, they're laughing. Dortmund have some crazy fans. They got one of the best atmospheres in world football at their ground. Not that I've been. So the Newcastle. So if anyone should be able to cope with that atmosphere, it shouldn't, in theory, apply to Dortmund as much as it did to Paris Saint-Germain. Newcastle should be fit of confidence, man. They qualified in the Champions League after taking last year by storm. They're doing very well this season. You have to big up Eddie Howe as well. On the topic of that, you can't think Newcastle without thinking of Kendall Rowan. Again, big up to her. Appreciative for sharing her thoughts last week on the channel. If you haven't watched that, make sure you go and watch the video we did where we spoke about Tonali and all those sort of things. And yeah, man, get her on the channel again. That cracker from Drewbury in your FM save was a cracker. It was a very good finish, my boy. A very good finish. Oh my gosh, I think I clicked Football Manager by mistake there. That was an accident. That's an L. Close that, please. Oh, randomly just now it's gonna make my laptop move hella noisy. Too excited. Football Manager's like muscle memory. Lineups are out for this game, and also PSG and AC Milan. You lot voted for this game. I actually thought you lot would lean towards PSG and AC Milan, but you didn't go for that. Again, keep your thoughts and everything coming. Make sure you're hydrated, as you can see with me. And let me get some more of that. Let me actually do the boring part with there being 11 minutes until kickoff, which is using Photoshop to do the lineup, folks. So, yeah. Oh, you don't put the name there. You definitely don't. Number 22, Nick Pope. Look, things of dreams, man. If you're Joe Linton to a degree, obviously being a foreign player is different. But if you're Joe Linton, Anthony Gordon, Longstaff, Lascelles, Dan Burn, you're living the dream playing in the Champions League without sounding condescending. Because Newcastle have earned that right, and I'm sure they're starting to believe it. And you never know, Arsenal and Newcastle, I think there's direct parallels in that they, achieved a goal of recent to get Champions League football. And I'm sure, the players, the coaching staff of both teams want to go as far as you can in this competition. Easier said than done. So you just want to give a good account of yourself. But if you win games, you never know. Stranger things happen in the world. You've got Trippier, Sarr, Pope, Mr. Lascelles is in there, and Mr. number 6. We look like a forgotten man at Newcastle, but injuries have given him an opportunity at this moment in Botman's absence. Speaking of defenders, you've got Dan Burn. I like him a lot, man. And pardon me, still probably in party mode after signing a new contract. Dan Burn, go anytime, folks. Longstaff is in. How long we got till kickoff? Literally 10 minutes. We got Longstaff. Who else? We got Mr. Longstaff. You got Bruno Guimaraes, who's also signed a new deal. Another topic we discussed when Kendall was on my channel. Make sure you check that out if you're a Newcastle fan. He is number 39, however. Did surprise me, Isak's on the bench, but I'm sure, there's a method as to what Eddie Howe is doing. I don't know if he's picked up a knock or anything, but this is, Isak's old team. you would have thought this is the Isaac Derby. He's actually in the thumbnail because I thought he'd start, but yeah, Eddie Howe keeps us guessing. Al Marignon is also in. Is there FP? I always forget. You know what? I'll set a reminder, and next year I actually have to do it. But is there a fantasy league for the Champions League? Al Marignon's name looks dodgy there. Let me make sure. All right, there's a spelling error. Who else have you got? This is a bit confusing because BT or TNT Sports said Isaac on the bench, which is why I referred to it like that. Okay, he's in now. Oh, big up Joe Willett. Joe Willett's on the bench. Fair enough. So yeah, forget everything I said about Isaac, folks. Isaac in there. Let's get your name there. Who else we got? Again, talking points. Get them in. Like buttons. Hit the likes. Talking points across Twitch and YouTube. You don't make the platform where it is. And I don't like just talking to myself, people. You got Mr. Gordon. And that completes Newcastle's 11 on my end once I type in that number. Once again, Pope, Trippier, Sarr, Lascelles, Byrne, Longstaff, Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Al Marignon, Isaac, and Gordon, people. And now let's do Borussia Dortmund, who, you know, I'm sure Newcastle are not underestimating them. They came within a whisker away of winning the Bundesliga last year. Didn't quite work out. Hope it's a good game of football, man. Newcastle have been good value for money in the watch-alongs we've been doing in the Champions League. Of course, I don't want any English team to do well unless it's Arsenal. But if someone has to, it's definitely not going to be for me anyways. So used to Chelsea being in the champs, and they have won it twice. But I don't want it to be Manchester United. I definitely don't want it to be City. If it's not Arsenal, you know what? Might as well give it Newcastle. You've got Hummels, who I'm sure you left Dortmund and came back, and you know, isn't Hummels is still there? Didn't Hummels come up around the time? To be fair, Muller, Khedira, Mesut Ozil. Shout out to him, he's still getting games, still playing the Champions League. Schollerbeck, you as a player that was once linked with Arsenal and a player that was allegedly admired. I might do a video on that, on players that were linked with Arsenal that we didn't end up getting, because one does wonder what would have been the case. You know, we know he was linked with Lisandro Martinez. We was obviously linked with Schollerbeck, who's left-footed and can play in that role. Okay. But yeah, you've got Schollerbeck, you've got Bizabani, I believe. Sure, you're a fairly technical footballer from what I can remember. Is that you there? Oh, no, that's not how you spell your name. Spelling your name all mad. Let's call it that. Number 5. How long we got till kick off? 6 minutes. We're doing all right. We're doing all right, people. We're doing all right. Let me check YouTube as well, because they always demonetize my watch-alongs, folks. So it wouldn't surprise me if they done actually that. Have they done that? Yes, they have done that. So there you have that. And let's finish up with what we're doing here, people. So yeah, got quite a few names to get on. Emre Can, if you're a Liverpool fan, you know, I can't imagine you're watching your own team today. I had to, because I had a quick peep and I see Marcel's in the chat, big him up. But I don't get too many times to slander Liverpool. Do you know what? Out of all the top 6 games we have to come and Arsenal have played so far, I'll be brutally honest, I wish we played Liverpool at least once by now, because I must admit, the Liverpool Old Trafford, I know I'm going to get shagged, but definitely of recent years, I'm more scared of Liverpool than City. Obviously, City are bullies. You know you're going to get slapped. And Liverpool have been slapping us, but I don't know, man. There's always, I find when City slap us, there's a bit more aggression. I mean, there's a bit more finesse, but Firmino was doing no-look passes. I'm not looking forward to Anfield. Last year, I thought we was living a dream, and we was. Shout out to Mohamed Salah. And obviously Marcel, but you've got Shabitza in here. I did think at one point Manchester United might actually, from last season, make his move permanent, but I don't know if they thought that that's the direction they wanted to go. You've got Nemecha, who, forgive me if I'm wrong, is a former Manchester City boy and England and German international. I think him and his brother can play for both, eligible to play for both, did play for both. Current German and international, technically, if I'm not wrong. You've got Fulrich. I can't pronounce his name, but that striker is fairly street smart, and he's a candidate to score today, if I'm honest, to Dortmund, man. I can't pronounce that. It's holding me back in this commentary game. But yeah, you've got my man, and then you've got Royce. Well, I've already got Royce. You've got Mr. Daniel Marlin, who's a former Arsenal man. So fair enough. And right on time. That's finished. Yeah, it is. Okay. Any errors, let me know, folks. Again, any comments? Make sure you comment. Let's export this. Comments. It's getting hot with all these lights and this laptop, to be brutally honest with you. We need central heating. Let's go over here. Yeah, and there we have it. To the left and right of me, people, you should see the lineups now. We can continue with everything. That's good. December 23rd, save the date. Make your Christmas be ruined. Boy, always butchering names, man. One day we're going to get there. I don't know who that is, but that's not me, man. That's not me, Marlon. You know something, DG? We've missed a Patrick Vieira for a while or two. Come along, and we've missed out on both of them. The tideless box-to-box guys. It's so true. Make sure to come back for more football news and check out the live streams on Saturday. Big up Clement, man. We will be watching Arsenal against Sheffield United. Big up yourself, Manny. Milan damn well knew what they were doing with Tonali. I can't lie. I think they finessed Newcastle United as well. I'll be brutally honest. I think they knew that there was some charges pending. The latest I saw today in relation to Tonali is that he faces the prospect of, is it 10 months? Crazy. I guess the nation is disappointed in PSG not rising up on the big stage of the Champions League. It depends. We are alive, man. Hopefully it's a good game of football. We're 3 minutes away until kickoff. The weather don't look the best. The lights look amazing. Hopefully it's a typical game in that regard. So hot. Let me actually take off my hoodie, folks. Place it down. Dying in this video. I did well to last. How long we've been live? 12 minutes, people. 12 minutes. So I did quite well. Let me actually put it down properly. And let's hope it's a good game of football. Same thing I said to Benjamin White with you guys. The same thing I said to Joe Linton. He's dyed his hair. You have to perform. You've got no choice. Like, Dan Burn's living the dream, man. Newcastle supporter, local boy. Join them when they're back in the champs and that. Not gonna lie, I've got money. I got my money on Dortmund tonight. And said, strip show, you're moving, man. Big up Queen of the South, hey. Big up Queen of the South, man. Hopefully Newcastle don't get rubbed out by a German team like Gaffer DG did today. What did I do to deserve that stray, man? And you know you're a bad guy, because that means you went from Twitch all the way back to YouTube to say that. You're a bad guy, man. It's cool though. Look what we played Bayern Munich. I lost 3-1. Musiala attacks. I lost 3-1, and I never had no Zinchenko, no Partey, no Rice. You know the players that were missing, and we were still competitive. Tell them how I beat City. What's the weather like? Them size, DG. To be honest, it's been raining of recent, but today's been okay. If I'm completely honest, cold though. Obviously, we're in October. I ain't got no rain. I ain't seen no rain today, but you know it could rain at any second. Such is life. Bad guy, man. What need was there for that? Appreciate that, Terry. We all love a Patrick Vieira replacement. Again, kickoff is imminent, people. Hopefully it's a good watch ultimately and a good game of football. Again, stress on hopefully, man. Newcastle, you've been good value for money, so hopefully it's an entertaining watch. Again, emphasis on hopefully. Let's go, man. I should have put on my Dortmund tee, but it's an Arsenal settings right now. I mean, we won our Champions League game. I see certain teams just about one, you know, and Anna finally found his hands to save. I shouldn't be talking about goalies, mind you, because Ryder's looking a bit spooky sometimes. Joe Linton has to score. He's got the Suarez arm thing and the pink hair. Looking like someone's character on FIFA. Nah, he has to do a madness today. Big up yourself as well. Appreciative to all of you lot tuned in. If you haven't smashed the like button, smash the like button. Hopefully it's a good game of football. It's like summer here in sunny Florida. Cheat code, you live in Florida, man. No need to brag to us, mate. All right. Must be lit. No, all right for some. But that's the only thing. Like, I've never understood people who go, oh, you know what? I prefer the winter over the summer, man. Oh, I like winter. There's nothing to like about winter. It's dark early. It's cold. There's no motives like that. It's dead. Summer's where it all is. But one thing I'll give winter over summer is that you can actually sleep. Trying to sleep when things are humid is mad. Absolutely mad. How are Arsenal going to sell Tierney? We see what you did there. There's no need for that. Crazy, really. And isn't he contracted until like 2026? Started well at Sociedad, but been injured. Who knows? He might go on loan again or be reintegrated. It looks like Dortmund will kick off today, people. Obviously, I can't breathe the Newcastle wear and whatnot, but it looks lit. And is it just me, or it looks like the cameraman is slightly wonky on TNT Sports 2? Long ball forward by Dortmund, met by the head of Dan Burn. Emre Can, who's played for Liverpool, so he should be able to brief his teammates on what it's all about, man. I'm sure he's played against Newcastle. Long ball forward by Dortmund. It'd be interesting because obviously the crowd makes a difference, but Dortmund are used to this. Almiron, that looked like a good tackle. I can't lie. I thought the left back won the ball there. If the ref was right, the ref was right. And Newcastle stopped from taking it quickly. The only people who like winter are vampires. Summer for the win. It's lovely. Almiron. Hey, helping the commentator. Almiron. Big up Almiron. Let me stop saying the next man's name that many times. Almiron. All right, we're all set. We're lit, and we're that much closer to being commentator. Borussia Dortmund are advancing forward. Oh, it could be interesting here. Daniel Marlin, that's a good touch. Could he score early doors? Composure, showed too much of it to Trippier. You'd expect Polk to save. Royce has been bottling since he became a professional footballer and can't score the follow-up. But that should have been a goal for Dortmund early doors. Newcastle went to sleep, and it was a fantastic sweeping move by Borussia Dortmund. Emre Can keeps hold of possession. And just as I said that, Borussia Dortmund have given it away cheaply. And just as I said that, they've regained it. Interesting start so far. Isak tries to nick the ball off an opponent. Emre Can nonchalantly flicks it and it finds Joe Linton. Joe Linton in the pink hair, what can he do? Been converted into a centre mid. Anthony Gordon swapped Everton for Newcastle. It's all wavy. Cuts inside, goes for a shot. Forces a big save. I thought Joe Linton was... Ooh, that was a serious, fair but firm tackle. Why? He gave a free kick against Joe Linton. That was a madness. I thought he got the ball. Slightly dangerous, but I thought he got the ball. But just before that, I thought Joe Linton surely is going to be able to get a touch, get that out of his feet and put the ball in the back of the net. Two big chances, early doors for both teams. To be fair, that's a big save by the Dortmund keeper. Crazy. This looks like it could be a decent watch, man, and the game hasn't even settled yet. To be honest, if Daniel Marlin scored from that, it would have been a big ask. His first touch was good, took too long, showed too much of the ball. Borussia Dortmund in possession. Marlin. Is that another throw-in for Dortmund? Maybe I didn't catch that, but yeah, will be a throw-in to Dortmund. Hummels, the legendary Matt Hummels, finds Wolf. Oh, surely they were fouled there. I don't know if there's an advantage, but Dortmund keep going. I wonder who the next star for... Oh, that's a terrible pass from straight back to Newcastle. Newcastle on their counter-attack. Almiron turns. Too much on it to Anthony Gordon. I wonder who the next one at Dortmund will be. Obviously, they got Jadon Sancho and made a lot of money. Jude Bellingham made a lot of money. Haaland made a lot of money historically. Have sold players. Dembele for a season, I believe, and made money. Crazy. Royce slander is mad. Do you know what? You're right. Because Royce is one of them people. There's no need to like. Why do I hate Royce? I don't hate him, but like you're right. But at least we're an equal platform. Anyone can get. You're right, though, man. It's almost like my Robin agenda. Cute turn on the ball by Nemecha. The switch of play. Ooh, it was a poor pass from him initially. I don't know what Royce tried to do. It's gone out for a Newcastle throw-in on this right-hand side. This game sounds like it'll be better than the Man U Bayern Munich game. I don't know, man. Nick Pope. Dan Burn plays it into the channels. Poor pass from Dan Burn. In truth, it's gone off the pitch. It'll be another throw from Dortmund. I can't like Dortmund pressing quite high, and it's quite intriguing. 4 minutes into the game, they have caught Newcastle sleeping a bit at times. And it's here with Hummels. Plays it to Emre Can. But I will say Dortmund have given away some nonchalant passes as well. Speaking of that, this is a promising passage of play from them, just knocking the ball about, and it's gone back to that man Emre Can, who looks like he's going to be the conductor early doors. Hummels, Royce, good passage of play. Nemecha, Daniel Marlin down this right-hand side. Sorry, people, I was getting comfortable. Marlin. Newcastle have bodies back. Marlin, who picks out a good pass to Royce. Royce, surely someone needs to lay it off. Emre Can, touch is terrible. Better first touch. He hits that. Good bit of play from Dortmund there. I've always rated Royce and his loyalty to Dortmund. You don't see that too often these days. Injuries have also let him down. I respect him on his loyalty because at the end of the day, as you said, it's a rarity. But obviously, someday you're going to be like 35 or whatever. Yeah, you're Royce, you're a legend. You're going to get a send-off, but that's about it. And then that's it, really. There's no loyalty in football. And obviously, injuries haven't helped him succeeding in the way he can. But I'm sure someone like Marco Royce has had a lot of opportunities to go to other clubs where he could probably, have won a lot more and whatnot, and he hasn't taken it. So if you've got no regrets, great. But yeah, If there's that feeling of what if I was him at this moment in time, I'd probably be scheming on a Saudi move. Because these clubs do you dirty. Look how, I can't remember the ins and outs, but look how Roma did Totti after all them years. I'm cutting out, man. Even Arsenal, I'd love to be a one-man club, Tony Adams style and whatnot. But I might have to cut ball into the box. Newcastle could do something here. Joe Linton, I'm sure Hoffenheim fans are hoping he does well. Anthony Gordon, I thought someone of his quality would chop in off his left foot, put it on his right and go for an effort. It's a corner kick early doors. Injuries have let Royce down, really, man. An injury to Royce is the reason Mustafi's a World Cup winner, because they called him up as a replacement. Equal opportunities, anyone can get. There you have it. The agendas. I'll agenda myself as I have on occasion. Keep hitting the like button if you haven't, people. And one love in advance. Trippier will take this corner. I can't lie. I'm keen to see the first goal go in because I think this game will explode. Or it might be one of them games. It's a great first 20 minutes and then it's a flat one. Dan Burn needs to be careful. Trippier delivers. It's a decent knock. Keeper's punched it and it's hooked clear by Dortmund. Dan Burn will sweep it up. Apologies, Longstaff. Oh, Longstaff's ramping, but a shot is long. He's attempted long pass, cannoned off a Dortmund man, but Newcastle still have it. And just as I said that, it's here with Nemetcha and Borussia Dortmund. Haven't seen too much of Isaac at the moment, but, you know, strikers, they have that habit. Scholarbeck, that's a good pass. I mean, this is why Royce is meaty, man. Royce could have made a great one or demanded the ball. Instead, he's allowed his teammate to do some silly little flick, and they've lost the ball cheaply. It's good to see you stream Deluded. Top Blue, one love, my guy. Oh, cat owners choking in the chat. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how you lot do the cat thing, man. Emre Can. Sabitzer. Oh, surely that's not a foul. Sabitzer's a lucky guy in the middle of the park. I don't think you get free kick for that in the Prem. With all the Prem's problems, that's soft. Dilly-dally and a little slight touch. Weren't really that deep, if I'm honest with you. Emre Can. Ball forward. Oh, it can't find the measure. To be fair, Dortmund are more positive than I thought they'd be early on. Trippier. Oh, ref is giving away some suspect fouls, man. I thought Dortmund were lucky there. I think Newcastle were lucky there. That's not a foul for Trippier. Since when did Marco Reus do this to his head? Fair enough. To be honest, I should have done my research. Word to little Reese. I wonder where Dortmund are in the Bundesliga. How is that doing? It's a quiet period from him. I never used to be a cat person until me and the missus got two, brother and sister. Now I'm a changed man. I hear that. I'd rather get a dog though, man. At least, God forbid, someone tries to run up in your house. You know, dog can do, depending on the dog, it can do something. And surely dogs are more loyal than cats. Surely. Cats look like they hate people, really. I don't like cats because whenever I try to call one on the street, it doesn't come, boy. I've done that once as a little kid and it worked. And since then, I thought I had the magic touch. He didn't beg. Wolf, throw into Dortmund, taken. Chested by Royce. Nemetcha bullied off the ball by Joe Linton there. Longstaff needs reinforcements. That's not a foul, ref. Surely. I think the ref has agreed with me, people. And Dortmund could be on the counter-attack here. Sabitzer has to pick out an option. What's he going to do here? Sabitzer, that's a good ball. Daniel Marlin is saved by Pope. It's a great double save by Nick Pope. It's hooked clear by Sarr. Second, well, technically 3 big chances from Borussia Dortmund that they should have bagged. Nick Pope just earned his salary there. I didn't think it was a foul on Longstaff. It looked like the ref got the ball. That is ridiculous from Nick Pope. Is it poor finishing or good goalkeeping? I don't know. I think it's a bit of both. Marlon, oh, nah. The follow-up effort for me from Dortmund has to go in, but Pope has saved it with either arm. Credit where due. What a save. That's going to be in the highlights without a doubt. Corner kick to Dortmund here. Boy, what I would say, you know, over in Newcastle, you got to take your chance. Marco Reus to take the corner. Headed out by Lascelles. So fall into a yellow shirt. I don't know what they were doing there, but it didn't bang. They will have a throw in deep in Newcastle's territory. DGB real, do you rate Leao? Yeah, I like Leao, Rafa Leao. Obviously, Serie A attacks. Oh, Dortmund are messing around. I can't explain that other than a mishap. And Isak's by himself. Needs reinforcements, but this could be dangerous. Newcastle's Gordon. It's going to be 1-0. Oh, he has some bags straight at the keeper. Both teams forgot their shooting boots. Boy. And to be fair, that's great defensive play, by Gordon. Both keepers called into actions. Why did the cat not come, DJ? I thought you had game. Nah, listen, if you did, Marcel, I'm going to change, man. I ain't going to react. But hey, we ain't got a problem with them kind of ones there still. I don't want to talk. But we ain't got a problem with that sort of cat out. I can assure you. Cheeky guy. Cheeky bugger. Could you accuse both teams of having poor finishing? No lie, I'm not believing in Leao until he becomes a 9. I hear that, but will Rafa Leao become a striker though? Like, what's his hold-up play like? Is his decision-making the best? That's a great defensive midfield splitting pass, from Borussia Dortmund. And they're attacking once again. Marlon plays it to his right back. Don't know what his fullback was doing, but it's probably proven why his future doesn't lie in a more attacking position. And they're quite fortunate to get another throw-in in good territory. Newcastle, I wouldn't say Newcastle are nervous, but a lot more on the back foot than I thought. First is a good save. Second is poor finishing. There you have it. Yeah, I'd agree with that. First is man possessed. And it's a good save from Pope for the second. But yeah, it's more poor finishing. Are you an Arsenal fan? Of course. Queen of South's got jokes. Leave it at. I could show you I like girls. Respectfully. Oh, what's going on here? Dortmund are appealing for something. Saying there's been an elbow. man said magazine covers and all that. Don't do that. We ain't made it yet. Bit unclear what the ref's giving. I thought it was a corner. I don't know if the ref's having a talking to people, but both teams are talking about elbows and all this sort of stuff. Surely it's just a corner. The camera angle's not helping. And that looks like it might be the end of Isak's night. He's gone down. Surely Isak's got to have been carrying something. Leao's a winger like a Portuguese Saka. Nah, Saka's got more gears to his game. Leao's more skillful. Isak looks like he's in a bit of bother. And it looks like Callum Wilson's going through his warm-ups and stuff. I'm sure he's got to be itching to want to come on in a game like this. Nice night boots from him. They're up there with the night boots yesterday. I think Ericsson wore them when I watched the Man United highlights and Saliba wore them. The game has stopped, people, because Isak is receiving treatment. I'm trying to work out what injury it is. I don't know if it's a fire or a brain knock. Judging by Isak's facial expressions, I'm sure he'll want to continue, but that could be the end of his night. He's got the look on his face of a man that kind of had something like that going into this game. The camera angles haven't showed Callum Wilson coming off the bench, so I'd be inclined to believe they're going to at least give it another go. Corner kick to Borussia Dortmund. Finally, folks. Big up yourself, Jay. Crazy. She's trolling though, man. She's a mod, so we'll let that one fly. Newcastle without Isak won't be good against his former club as well. To be fair, Callum Wilson can do a job in games like this. A couple of times, Dortmund have kind of been lacking defensively with their high line. Wilson could take advantage of such. Marco Reus with the delivery. It's a good delivery for what it's worth. Marco Reus will have a second chance. He played to the edge of the area. Marlon tried to do the movie things. It's a good effort, but it's far too high. One injury-prone striker for another. It's true. You can tell when a player knows his game is run. That's a shame for Isak. So I think you mean when it's done. That's a shame for Isak if he's done. It is, man. It's a big game. It's Champions League. It's a special night at Newcastle. And obviously, it's a bit special against his former club. And I don't know if that's a groin or a hamstring. Obviously, if you know with a hamstring, worst case scenario, you're sitting down for a couple of game weeks. Big up you lot for tuning in. In fact, that's the end of Isak's day, people. Callum Wilson has actually came off the bench. He'll bag today, surely. So, yeah, Nick Pope has taken the goal kick. He's been quite busy as a Dortmund keeper. What throwing is that? It's unclear whose side's throwing is that. It's actually Newcastle's. And Dan Burn when he's ready to take the throw. Decent 14 minutes so far, people. Joe Linton. Don't see Joe Linton barged off the ball too many times. Can't say I have, but he has been here. Felix Nemecha. That's a good pass, really. Oh, that's a terrible touch. Who's number 20? Number 20, I better know about you now. We got 2 number 8, so that's Sabitzer, actually. Made a mistake there. Let's change that. Terrible touch by Sabitzer. Something you wouldn't really see. Let me change that number because it don't look good. None of you could tell me you see not 2 number 8s. Or some of you lot just looking at this handsome face. Shout out the women out there. Newcastle have possession again, folks. We changed it. There we have it. Isaac played for Real Sociedad, not Dortmund. He did play for Dortmund. Isaac has played for Dortmund, bro. You talk about. Is that Dortmund initially after he's in his homeland? Then he went to Sociedad, I'm pretty sure. And now, obviously, see him playing his trade at Newcastle. He can play for more than one club, you know. Look at Top Blue. Look at getting started. And I thought the Twitch ones were good people. See how they try to get jokes. They don't try to laugh with me. They try to laugh at me. You got a nice people. Anyone laughing and making banks? I hope when you walk down the stairs or walk to your kitchen, you bang your little toe. Dan Burn. So, 16 minutes in, people. It's still a stalemate. I'm banking on this to be the game, people. Big up Newcastle, but I thought you lot would pick PSG AC Milan, which I didn't mind which game I was going to watch, but yeah. Throw into Newcastle. Trippier looking to take it quickly. No one kind of on his wavelength. Still waiting for options. See how hard us fullbacks got it? The worst is playing as a fullback and there's no tangible people to throw it to. So you just have to say, F it, I'm going to throw it down the line. Hopefully win the headers. Still not taking it, Trippier. Hey, ref, at some point. Found Joe Linton finally. Joe Linton switches it. It's a bit banduli from him, but he did it. Terry, how much do you want to bet that Isaac played for Borussia Dortmund? How much do you want to bet? How confident are you? He never played in Germany, yeah? He never played in Germany, yeah? I think you're right, man. I think you're right. Let's bet 100 quid. I even let you double or nothing. You're right, man. I'm starting to doubt myself if he ever played in Germany, you know. No, you're right. I don't think Isaac has played in Germany, but nonetheless, let's bet Terry. Marlon, Wolf, dodgy from him. Nah, man, I don't. Terry, you might be. I actually think you're right, man. Nah, he didn't. He didn't play for Dortmund. He didn't play for Dortmund. Let's bet, man. Terry, come, man. He didn't play for Dortmund. Isaac didn't play. It's another Isaac. No, I promise you, it's another Isaac. Let's bet, man. Let's bet, man. And plays here with Borussia Dortmund's goalie. I thought it was Isaac Darby. You're right, man. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's a good tackle by Kamara, and that would have been a sexy through ball for Wilson, but it wasn't to be. Hummels and Sabic have made a mess of it, but somehow Newcastle, this is jammy, but somehow Newcastle are now on the back foot. Sabic down the left-hand side, has a runner in Royce, cuts inside, it has to go in. Marlon, blocked by Dan Burn. Borussia Dortmund are playing with their food. It's not that Newcastle are not doing well off their own back, but at some point, Dortmund have to put the ball in the back of the net. At times, both teams being very careless in possession. No, he didn't play for Dortmund, man. That's the next one. I'm telling you, bro, Isaac did not play for Dortmund, man. Isaac, you sure? Isaac played for Dortmund. No, he didn't. Terry's right, man. Nah, man, we need to bet. It's calm, Terry. Let's bet, man. You did it. You're smart. Yeah, he did play. I thought he played for Dortmund. Sabic, so. Hey, what foot is this guy? Is he both-footed? I thought he was left-footed. Just took the corner with his right. Corner didn't work out, but Dortmund still have possession. Marco Reus has to go back to his goalie. Pulls out to the left-back channel. To be fair, that's good build-up play for Borussia Dortmund. Reus, the actual left-back's been disarmed too easy by Newcastle, and Reus is doing the defending. Oh, Reus trying to change his position. Nah, man, Terry, man. I'm a bad guy because I knew I was 100% right. Almiron attacking, never a penalty, ref. Come on. Almiron. Can you keep saying it? Could never be looking for a penalty there. Skolabek. Emre Can. Finds Daniel Marlon. Marlon's got a good career for himself since he left Arsenal, but been a bit poor today. Dan Burn concedes a corner. Newcastle look a bit susceptible on the defensive transition. You know, it's probably a bit too easy for Dortmund to go from back to front. Yeah, he did play for Newcastle. Well done. I'm a qualified speech specialist now. That's ironic. I can't even believe he's looking for a pen there. Almiron. That's cool, Terry, man. It's a bit of banter, man. Bit of banter, lad. Decent watch. I suppose nothing of note is happening in the other games in the Champions League, because I'm sure there's some of you that are watching multiple games at once. I saw someone, big up you, someone said Celtics winning. Corner kick, it's a good knock. It's cleared by Newcastle once again. Cam Royce put that back into a dangerous position. Loops it long into the box. That's surely too easy. Pope hasn't had anything. What's up with your guy, the MEDG? He's been holding bench lately. He's not ready right now, man. Needs to learn football. Ultimately, end product defines you and needs to do such. I still think he's a special talent, man. Need to give him time. But I can see why he's on the bench. But it'd be nice to see him play. He's even on the bench today. My guy, Arsenal, buy this youth, man. 21 though. You're now getting, for me, in the next 18 months, significant progress time. Celtic beating Atletico. Swear down. I big up Celtic. 21 minutes in, they're beating Atletico Madrid. To be fair, like Newcastle, Celtic's a magical ground these sort of nights. Almiron finds Trippier. Has Almiron on the right hand side. People, I know I'm saying it like a weirdo, but it's calm. Almiron on this right hand side looks to play a 1-2 with Gamares. Gives it back to him. This is fantastic play. Oh, and if he hits that properly, might score. We'll never know. It'd be one of the best goals of the Champions League game week. Instead, he's fumbled over. Mbappe anonymous so far, and Brazy not living up to his name. In terms of other results across the Champions League tonight, Barcelona beat Shakhtar the next 2-1. Feyenoord beat Lazio 3-1. Obviously, it's currently 0-0 between Newcastle and Dortmund. Leipzig are beating Red Star 1-0. It's still somehow 0-0 between Manchester City and Young Boys. It's a matter of time before they hit them for a cricket score. Antwerp and Porto is 0-0. Celtic are beating Atletico Madrid 1-0. And the other game in the group of the game we're actually watching now, PSG Milan, is also 0-0. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. And big up the Twitch ones. You've lot putting in the shift. Joe Linton, if you dye your hair and do all of this stuff, you have to be man of the match. Said the same to Benjamin White against Chelsea, and you failed to do so. Anthony Gordon tries to play a 1-2 with Joe Linton. It didn't bang. I must admit, I didn't think that was a corner, but the ref has. Fair enough, if that's the right call. Can Newcastle make this count? Trying to see what actual colour that is from Joe Linton. Is it actually pink? I suppose when you're a footballer, you can do all of that. There's been 6 corners so far, people. Newcastle have had 2. Borussia Dortmund have had 4. Pink Panther. It's the same colour as them wafer biscuits. The pink, ironically, I think they're Pink Panther biscuits as well. They're technically biscuits, very underrated. Love eating them till I get sick. Trippier with a corner to the back post. Keeper don't know too much about it, and he's flat. It looked like it was going out. It actually stayed on. There was an attempt to hook it clear by Nemetra. He's completely sliced it with his left peg. Adeyemi is the second coming of Gnabry. He's going to have to earn them sort of stripes there, my guy. But hopefully, Fabian Sarr finds Trippier. They taste like cardboard. I don't know the ones you're buying, but they're lit. Just like the argument we was having on this channel yesterday. The white chocolate digestive biscuits are better than the actual like milk chocolate ones. And the plain ones are better than the chocolate ones. That's never a foul ref. You could have never bought that free kick attempt by Gordon. What you did. Who was playing better? Fairly even, if I'm honest with you. I'd say Dortmund look a bit more threatening in the final third. Slightly, because they've had, I'd say they just edge it in terms of chances. But Newcastle have cut them open on plenty of occasions. They've had 2 good chances of their own. I think Dortmund have had more clear-cut chances to score, if I'm honest with you. But it's an even contest. Both teams a bit open defensively, and both teams so far failing in the final third. Agree with the Pink Panther thing, but drag on the digestives. The chocolate digestives, they're the worst ever, man. Anyone that can eat a whole packet of them, they scare me. The white chocolate ones now, ooh, changed my life. Joe Linton. Gamares finds Trippier. Trippier's first touch ain't the best. Can he get across? Oh, he's overhit that greatly. It's into the stands. And he knows that you could just see that frustration from Trippier there. Dortmund. Fair enough. I know every side plays out from the back, but Dortmund's commitment. I always admire teams that do it away from home. Marco Reus. Sabitzer. Just about keeps possession. And the thing I think is underrated about football, yeah, These men hardly have any time on the ball. Like, we always know that. But if you remember last year pre-season, I'm sure Guimaraes, he put a GoPro on. These men have no time on this ball, you know. And I think really, obviously, there's quality that separates it. There's ability. But I think definitely in this country, England, when you look through the leagues, obviously, as I said, quality makes the difference. Wait, hold on. Great play by Dortmund. Can they score? This could be a finish. It has to be. Marlon's shot's been blocked. Dortmund are playing good football, but it's just not coming to anything. As I was saying, surely the higher the level you go, it's not really a case of quality necessarily. It's the speed of foot. No, white chocolate ones are sickly after a while. I like the normal ones. The normal ones the normal ones used to be the best, but these white chocolate ones are dank, man. They're a game changer. Honestly, a game changer. Triple choc digestives. I ain't had that. That's sounding a madness. Scholarbeck. Surely that's going to be a corner kick if Newcastle let that go out. I think Trippier's just clocked and he's put it out for a throw. Telemans will go pro. Yeah, he was another one. Even then, you get no time on the ball. No time. But that's why they say the best footballers are the best thinkers. Griezmann bagged, so Celtic are not holding on. It's 1-1 in the Celtic Real Madrid game. I'm looking at the live updates on Google in front of me, but one love, my guy. Keep them predictions. Keep your match predictions coming. Keep the score updates coming. I thought that was a Dortmund throw, but instead the ref has said these, man. Giroud. It always kills when you spell it like that. Right? What a career Giroud's had, man. Players like Giroud, for me, sum up Arsene Wenger's career. Because it's a romantic story. You know, he struggled to be a footballer, only really taken seriously later on in his career. Dealt with a lot of critics, but won the league at Montpellier, won a bunch of things at Chelsea, won things at Arsenal, you know, top goal scorer for France now, won the World Cup. Had an elite career. They should Giroud's story. If he doesn't sell his story to a production house, bro, that should be a movie. Obviously, Giroud's never going to be a sexy name. It's not like we're going to watch Lionel Messi or David Beckham or whatever. But his career has been a movie. Marco Reus, Joe Linton dispossessed, smacks it at Wilson, but Wilson's got it under touch. He's played it to Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes. Almiron in possession. Trippier. Guimaraes. Newcastle playing a bit more crisper. Guimaraes to the back post. It's found Gordon. Gordon's touch is actually taking it away from everything. He still has possession. Good player, man. I must admit, I rate him a lot more. Joe Linton. What can he do? Dan Burns swings it into the box. You know his sort of contribution in the final third's capped. He's not one of them guys. Rod DG called Atletico Madrid Real Madrid. Apologies. So, you know, I just want to watch Real Madrid. Trippier. Longstaff. Boy, Dortmund doing a good job of forcing Newcastle back. Newcastle doing a good job in retaining possession. It's been a good, I know it's 28 minutes, but let's call it half an hour. Been a good half an hour. Not quite been the quality in the final third from either team to break the deadlock. That's a ball from Gordon. Callum Wilson finds Trippier. It has to be perfect. Trippier delivers it. No, I'm capping. That's a terrible knock, really. I think, has he earned the corner? Surely he has. It's a corner. Gordon not happy with him, regardless. But the fans appreciate it. Who's been the best player so far? I don't think anyone's kind of stood out. I think Emre Can's gotten the ball a lot. I think Gordon's looked lively. Nah, I don't think there's been an outstanding player just yet, if I'm honest. Is that another corner to Dortmund? It's still alive. Surely another corner. And it will be another Newcastle corner against Dortmund. 15 minutes left of this half, folks. Essentially. 2-1 Celtic. Well, the optimism's back again. They say you're most vulnerable when you've just scored. And Arsenal lived up to that yesterday when Sevilla scored the second. And Atletico have done it now. You watching El Clasico? It's Saturday at what time? I'm on PSG Milan watch. They've all been meaty heard. Boy. I wonder if this will be the one. Trippier delivers. Not the best of deliveries from Trippier. Gordon brings it down. Good touch there. I think even things like that. People underestimate professional footballers, how messed they are with a ball. And then, you know, Gordon kind of does something like that. That, you know, even though what I said is true, people look at it like, oh, what's all that about? It's peeing it down now in Newcastle. Hope it's not raining over these sides. Hummels. kind of killed his left back, but his left back's turned not the best of passes into a half decent one. Scholarbeck, Emre Can, Scholarbeck. Oh, that's a lovely crossfield pass. Is that going to get all the way to Marlon? Marlon has a lot to do and he needs options, but he needs to bring that under control. Daniel Marlon in possession. Doesn't take on Dan Burn. Plays it to his fullback, Wolf. Wolf plays it back to Marlon. Surely the ball's got to get delivered. Marlon tries to deliver. I think that went out for a throw-in. It might have been a corner. Yeah, I can't say his name, Joey, but that guy, quite a street-smart striker. And to be fair, he's been quite anonymous. Wilson's been fairly anonymous, even though you can kind of see him. That sounds very hypocritical to say. Isaac came off injured, if you don't know. Winter cold has got me down, fever and everything. Wrap up warm, get some honey and ginger. And some painkillers if you need such. Stay safe, everybody. Dortmund, Scholarbeck. I see why Arteta wanted you, you know. Is there a chance that could be done? Dan Burn wins the header. Hasn't gone out of play. Daniel Marlon, there's not too many options for a Dortmund man in the box. Emre Can. Me and Dortmund, it's a lot of foreplay. Ball into the box, that was horrible. Goal kick. There's a lot of foreplay, but there's no quality in the final third. There's no penetration. What the game needs is a Weldy type goal to kick it into life with this Newcastle game. Future Arsenal player, DM me, I hope so. Really do. You know, could potentially, pardon me, in time could grow to become a striker. Right now, probably better off the right wing. I wonder how much Dortmund value him at. Nick Pope, wasting a bit of time unnecessarily, in my opinion. Looks like he's going long. Goes long. Gordon wins the header. Emre Can in possession. Oh, Emre Can, that was a terrible pass, weren't it? Scrappy game at times, man. Mbappe has scored this 1-0 to PSG against AC Milan. Big up you lot with the updates. What sort of goal was it? I can't lie, I ain't updated on Google. Tell it like it has. Mbappe has put AC Milan a goal down and PSG a goal in front. Anthony Gordon. Can't lie, I like you a bit more, man. I wasn't really rating your thing at Everton. But he's a decent player, that's about it. Kind of see why Chelsea going for you. Oh, referee, that's very fortunate for Gordon to get a free kick there. Sound like Ambrose did a madness. Hey, man, no one got a Twitter link. Near post sat Tomori down. So, Tomori agenda. Meaty Cobham talent still stinking up the joint. Call up Tomori, Southgate. Call up Tomori. Oh, Zaire Hemre with the assist. I told you about him until it sounded like it was the typical Mbappe trademark finish. What? No one got a link for the goal, people. Okay, let me see this. Hey, Zaire Emery. Hey, that's a ball. Let's see what Mbappe did. Bro, this guy has the fastest. Oh, you're going to get me demonetized. He's got the fastest feet in the Premier League. Man said in the Premier League, I'm trying to watch two things at once. In world football, in my opinion. Wow. Joe Linton's had a shot that's gone over. Wow. Absolutely moved to Tomori there. To be fair, like, to be honest, like, what can Tomori do? What can Tomori do there? Really and truly, what can you do? Sometimes you just have to admire greatness. But the more I focus on Tomori, and Tomori just laying down made it worse. Literally sat on his ass. Newcastle counter-attacking here. Almiron is fouled. Aye, Almiron. Aye. One more time. To be fair, Tomori's been done dirty because where's the right back? The right back ran away from the beef. He was not back in the beef. I assume Mbappe's playing on the left-hand side. If he's playing up front, fair enough. Tomori's still better than Maguire. I remember when Fab Mwamba was gassing up Tomori. Big up Mwamba. You don't need to get in his DMs on Twitter and everything else and tell him to get on him. He needs to be back on the show. But yeah, he was capping. As I said at the time, I think Tomori's a good defender, but there's too much noise and clamour made. He'll look funny in the Prem week in, week out. There's nothing you could do, man. It's killing Mbappe, man. Generational talent. Free kick. to Newcastle. Sarr and Trippier over it. Big up DJ. I think Newcastle humbled Mbappe, bagged a good goal. I don't think he can play Prem. Warren, I big up you, but I'm a big fan of Mbappe. Mbappe can play any league. Trippier takes it short, caught me by surprise. Anthony Gordon, can he get a ball into the box? He's floated it, evaded everyone. Gamara's to keep it alive. Oh, not the best of passes to Longstaff. Longstaff's done well. Almost had his pocket pick there. Had his pocket pick. Oh, this ref is soft, man. I can't lie. This ref is letting some soft things go. But that's a good aggressive press from Newcastle. Again, Newcastle player caught in possession and quite lucky. I can't lie. Serie A players I look at with a pinch of salt, even the little ones like KK and Leo. I can't lie, I do as well. There's a bit of tact. But they lit. Everyone can move like Tomiyasu, though. Free kick to Newcastle. Looking forward to the relaunch of you and Mwamba. You don't need to get on him. Airs me, man. Airs the DMs. I don't have his number. You don't need to get onto him. Pardon me. Tell him we need the return. Trippier to take this free kick. It is, you know, it's basically, you know, near just a few meters before the halfway line, essentially. It's going to have to be a good starting work from the training ground. Is the ref letting it happen? It looked like the ref was talking to players. Trippier. Poor from him, really. Newcastle still on it. Longstaff swiped at it. Playground desk at times. Damn, is that Dan Burton? Swear down. But that's Longstaff. About to say that was decent technique from the big man. So, Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes has a lot of time. Looks to hit a diet. Worked far too much on that. It's gone out for a goal kick. The idea was good. He's a player that has the quality to do it. But yeah, he showed he's human. Emre Can is down for Dortmund. He said 1 minute, so I think he'll be all right. But I don't know if he got a little knock or something. I don't know what happened to Emre Can, if I'm honest. But he does look like he's in a fair bit of pain. And it's pouring down buckets. Emre Can, the game's been stopped, people. At least there's going to be 6 or so minutes added on. Emre Can, it looks like something to do with his knee, but obviously I'm not physio, I can't confirm. Mbappe, Haaland, and Bellingham, can you rank them? Mbappe first, and then it's Haaland and Bellingham. Mbappe, Bellingham, Haaland. I feel wrong saying that. I think it will be Mbappe, Haaland, and then Bellingham. But I'm gonna go Mbappe, Bellingham, Haaland. All animals. Tell you something. If we got Mbappe, imagine a front three of Mbappe, Saka, Martinelli. That's pure pace. Although Mbappe will probably stay in Paris for the bag. But hey, I wish the dream is free. I can't lie. That might be the end of Emre Can's night. He's limping. I don't know if it's an impact thing or if his night's done. But he's being helped by 2 physios. I think his night might be over, you know. And he looked to be playing quite decent for Dortmund. Yeah, that's the end of his night. Substitutes ready to come on. Makoko, completely forgot about you at Dortmund. Bellingham is kind of ish. Never, man. I didn't agree with that when I saw that on social media as well. When people were saying Bellingham ain't got tech. Bellingham has so much potential to be quality. I almost wanted to see him play under Pep Guardiola just so you could learn or everything that you think you know about football at this point. They're going to show you his cap and then relearn. But he's learning under a great coach like Ancelotti. And even, you know, people are quite disrespectful to Ancelotti. Like, they don't look at him as a tactician and all these things. But when you listen to his comments about Bellingham and, you know, from the start of the season, I'm not watching Real Madrid week in, week out, but he seems to be scoring. The way he's working with him, it's crazy. Daniel Marlin, he has to hit it. DG settings, doesn't hit it. Meaty. Bellingham going crazy this season, top goal scorer in La Liga. Could be anything, man. He could be a midfield general. You can't rule out becoming a goal scorer midfielder. Who knows? His dad was a forward. I don't think that would be him, but he's definitely got the strength to do the thing. Yo, Musiala or Bellingham? Bellingham is different, but can't sleep on Musiala. Different. Oh. Musiala, you know. I think right now it's Bellingham, but Musiala, you know. Another demon in this football. Oh, it's crazy. Oh, you know what? Yeah, man. Them lot used to, but when I used to watch England youth and get to watch them on a frequent basis, them two, I think Levi Colwell was there as well, a couple other promising players. Them two just used to run the show. What could have been for England. Eh? Hey, yeah, Musiala. And I know Musiala is not a 10, but he doesn't play like Pedri, but he plays football in the way I like to see it played. Like there's a purity to how he plays. De Jong the same. I think even some of the footballers I rate and they're robots, like it's not really lit. That's why I cherish Neymar. Ball into the box by Newcastle, important header by Dortmund. Newcastle in the last 10 or so minutes, in my opinion, have taken the stronghold of the game. It was an even contest before. It's probably Newcastle's. Anthony Gordon. Good question, man. Mbappe, can any defender, even Saliba? Hey, man, he knows what happened when he bucks Saliba. Musiala is cold. None would be better than Bentner. Newcastle, that should be a finish. Oh, Hummel's important header. Daniel Marlon, that's terrible defending. Dan Burn, you don't shoot, you don't score, but that's why Dan Burn's a defender, isn't it? Bellingham oozing in that Kaka role. Free rolling Musiala. Musiala's so lit. I think the difference between Haaland and Mbappe is the difference between being a shot taker and a chance creator. What do you lot think? Well, yeah, two different positions. I don't think Haaland will ever be the most pleasing player. Well, Emre Can, to his credit, tries to keep going, but he's coming off. I don't think Haaland will ever be the most aesthetically pleasing footballer, but there's a coldness to the way he plays. He's an assassin in front of goal. He plays like he's like 28, 29. I know he's won Premier League and Champions League and all of that, but he plays like he's been around for a minute. Absolute robot, a nightmare. But, you know, my centre-backs dealt with Mbappe, dealt with Haaland. I don't know, man. For you other teams, it might be scary. Could never buck us. Bellingham or Pedri. Now I start being biased. Pedri. Bellingham's a lot more entertaining. But now, again, Pedri plays to a purity. Who is this guy? Ozcan is coming on, people. I'm sure he was at Stuttgart. Hey, that Dr. Don was at Arsenal. Ain't that Shad Forsyth or whatever? How's the family? Unless a miracle happens or like the Arsenal Sevilla game, there's a goal in the 44th minute. We're probably heading into half time at 0-0. Saliba owns him. But yeah, Bellingham Pedri lit. Right now, Bellingham Pedri when he gets into his prime. I don't think Pedri will ever be like, I rate Gavi as well, but I don't know, man. Pedri's shown he can get goals here and there, but the way football is right now is obviously goals and assists are important, but and data is important and things. But I just think in general, football's not about the eye test again. It's not about good footballers. It's just about if you can get the most goals, most assists. And we live in a day where creativity is like 100 crosses put into the box. Like, man, I train, and I'm not doubting it. It is supreme skill, but creativity was things unheard of. For me, that's Zidane, that's Bergkamp, that's Zola, that's them kind of guys. Now, footballers like Trent and Kevin De Bruyne, obviously they've got great vision, they're great players, and I rate them, but I use them as an example of what modern day creativity is. They obviously can play a variety of passes, but it's just volume. They'll put the same elite pass into the box time in, time out. I think football's lost its purity, and it's reflected in the losses of a number. There's no 10s like that anymore. And to be honest, I don't think a system in world football can accommodate a 10 like that. Even the most, like, I'm not saying Odegaard's them as level, but like the Odegaards, the Musialas, Pedris, they're not really 10s. Ball into the box by Newcastle, headed out by Borussia Dortmund. Dan Burn's like a bully, man. Like, he's so tall. Dan Burn kicking it over people's heads. Crazy. Pedri is a maestro. He's not a dictator. He's not a goal/assist man. Pedri is a battler. Bellingham is an entertainer. Well, for me, they're both entertaining, really. But they both battle, to be fair. Pedri is not the most physical, but he puts himself around. And Bellingham, I think Bellingham is just so mature and all-rounded, man. And for obvious reasons, with these kind of footballers, I try to stay away from talking about the physical qualities. But, you know, my man's is even 20 yet, like, and he's built, like, and he's still, like, he just made for it. He's really made for it. A player I wish was at Arsenal. You know, one of the best players I've seen as a kid, essentially, or as a young man, as a teenager. Anthony Gordon stopped in his tracks. I can't believe you're looking for a foul. Dortmund on the counter-attack. Lively game, lively chat. Appreciate you. Look, Dortmund should take the lead. If you don't score now, you never will. And as I said there, if you don't score now, you never will. Nemecha has struck. It is 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund, which kind of came against the run of play. 44th minute, just like in the Sevilla game. Both teams have had chances. Newcastle are not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. I don't agree with Newcastle players trying to appeal or get onto the referee for that attempted foul on Gordon. Gordon it's not a foul. And he's been looking. Gordon's had his pocket picked, and he's laying on the floor. And Newcastle have been hit on the counter attack. Oh, do you know what? To be fair, he is pulled initially, but my man won the ball. The challenge that they're talking about, he actually won the ball. Great play, as there's been a theme today, back to front. And to be honest with you, that's the first time Dortmund have moved half decent in front of goal because they've been playing with their dinner. I'm sure a lot of us were maybe even a bit pessimistic as to whether they'll bag this. Smash the like button if you haven't. Really nice finish from the Metro. Really good finish. Feel sorry for Nick Pope if I'm completely honest because he's pulled off some bad boy saves. Good finish. Difficult finish. One of those finishes that looks a lot harder than it looks a lot easier than it actually is. A lot harder than it looks. He's used the pace of the ball and guided it. I closed my eyes for 20 minutes and missed the goal. Blink and you miss it. That's what they say. If you're tired, old lady, because I can't imagine why people are tired at 9:15. Record the game and wait for the highlights. There's 4 minutes of added on time. We've got 3 more. Come on, City scored. Last team in my accumulator. I hope you win that. And it would be the team that when you was doing it, you probably thought, yeah, City a short banker against Young Boys. They're going to spank them for like 6. I would say that's probably crossed out certain notes on both managers' halftime team talk notes. Goal scorer in the Metro finds his fullback. Dortmund attacking down this right-hand side. Wolf, that's a good ball to the back post. They have to make advantage of this. Terrible, man. I've been bigging up the number 14 from Dortmund. He hasn't had much to work with. Horrible. What might have saved him is if Almiron has conceded a corner, which I think he has. I'm probably going to say it from now. I don't think Newcastle are playing poorly. But if Borussia Dortmund don't get 3 points, a big reason as to why they haven't done that is the finishing. Because Newcastle could have scored a few today. Dortmund really should have 2, maybe 3. Dare I even say 4. Definitely they should have a 2-3. 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund, people. It's a good game and finally got a goal. Corner kick, can they change it? They're taking short. They've delivered. That's a good knock. Nick Pope's unsure and he's flapped at it. Daniel Marlon stands it back up. Horrible pass. Nick Pope's had, again, Newcastle look a bit nervous because Pope probably could have collected that. And I'm not criticizing him. He ain't got eyes in the back of his head. He put it, when in doubt, get it out. He's done exactly that. Joe Linton and Nick Pope not talking. He probably could have caught that. Back into you. Another corner for Dortmund. Wonder if this will be more of a traditional corner. It's a nice little in-swinging position for Marco Reus. It's not the best from Reus. It's still alive. I don't know why there's appeals for a handball or appeals for something. Either way, ref has stopped it in its tracks. There'll be a minute left of this first half, people. There's 45 more minutes to play. I don't think Newcastle are out of this clash by any stretch of the imagination, but I do understand if there's a bit of deflatedness from Newcastle fans. Boy. Trippier. That's gone out of play. Newcastle, it looks like it's taken, not naturally when you can see this, it looks like it's taken a bit of confidence out. Newcastle look composed in certain things, but in the same breath, they have looked a tiny bit nervous since the game started. I don't know why. Maybe that's just something that's happened. Boy. Surely that's the end of the first half. Big up you lot, people. Again, it seems like there's a lot of itching, let's call it, from both teams to the referee. Leave them alone, man. Just continue with the game. It's getting a bit meaty. Looks like it will be tough to get. Now the ref took the mick. Still 0-0 between Young Boys and City. There's a lot of moaning with the referee, man. I still think, again, timer. I still think it's anyone's guess as to who wins this game, but it is currently 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund, people, away from home against Newcastle. In terms of the other games in the Champions League, people, let me refresh the scoreline. Narada, Jimenez scored again for fighting on. Great stuff. Feyenoord, speaking of them, they won 3-1 against Lazio. Barcelona won 2-1 against Shakhtar Donetsk. Borussia Dortmund are currently a goal up against Newcastle. Leipzig are beating Red Star 1-0. PSG are beating AC Milan 1-0. I'd implore all of you lot to go and look at what Mbappe did to Mori, unfortunately. It is 1-0 to Antwerp now against Porto. It's 2-1 to Celtic against Atletico Madrid. Surprisingly, it's still 0-0 from in the Young Boys Man City game. There we have it. No, I'm not saying Kevin De Bruyne doesn't have one of the sexiest passes. And Kevin De Bruyne is a Prem legend, a footballing legend. And he definitely is in a room of creators. But do I think he's, dare I say, top 5 creative players I've ever seen with my own eyes? Probably not. A lot of footballers aren't. And hear me out. Like, I'm not rubbing him out. Zidane is dead. Zidane, Ronaldinho, very easily. Kaka, very easily. Neymar, very easy. Let's be real. Mesut Ozil, very easily. We're just talking creativity, yeah? Easily. 1-0 Antwerp. They're doing their thing, man. Doing their thing against Porto. They struck in the 37th minute. Vermeeren is playing as well. Good little 18-year-old making headways in Belgium. You know the team-wise, the team has home colours that's nearest to Rongens is Dynamo Dresden. Swear. Never knew that. I'm going to let the coaching staff know. Big up Terry, man. That Yamal guy at Barcelona, man, he's got the world at his feet. Boy. Omri on oh, sorry, people. That's just, I don't know why I'm reading that out loud. That's Omri on Gabriel Jesus. That's something for tomorrow. Mbappe gets a shot off so quick, feel bad for the defenders. Mbappe, in my opinion, surely he's got the fastest feet in world football. Or in Europe, if you don't want to include people the 2 legends that are playing away, it's probably Messi. But Mbappe's is just ridiculous. And I feel sorry for Neymar. I wonder if it's the end for Neymar. Like, does he retire? You know, he had a big injury. He's come back in a matter of months. He's been injured again. And he's just moved new clubs. In terms of passing creativity, I think he is making a chance with skill moves. He ain't even top 50. No, again, I think that's fair. You know, De Bruyne is a very good, creative player. He's in the realm, like I said. I just don't think creativity now is what it once was. And I don't know if we'll ever get it back. To be fair, I'm probably lying. Football works in cycles, man. You know, sooner rather than later, three at the back will be a thing and whatnot. Let's see how Celtic scored. Big up Twitter because they can show you highlights. Let me see what Celtic scored. To be honest, Celtic's second goal is lovely. Fair enough. Hey, Celtic are moving mad. Neymar's had a lit career, but it's a what if thing for him. I'd agree with that. Like, what if you stayed at Barcelona? What if you were a bit more serious and didn't like parties? What if you didn't go to PSG? What if these injuries never happened? I think you're bang on the money, if I'm honest with you. Bang on the money. Depends on what you mean by chance creativity. I just think creativity, just watching football, man. No stats, no heat maps, just truly taking my breath away. Pause from a footballing point of view. Kevin's like, don't get twisted. I think Kevin's got some of the best pass moves I've ever seen, and he is in that realm. But I'm just saying that their main highlights are these long balls to the back post. Like, you're not really going to see that with certain men. Not to knock it. I'm rarely ever moved by football nowadays. Like, don't get twisted. There's entertaining games and I love the game, but how often do we see matches or players or performances from certain players where like, wow, like Pep killed the number 9, then brought it back. He'll probably bring back the 10. Who knows, man? I would have loved Odegaard to have been around in the days of the pure 10, if I'm honest. And I would have loved Ozil to kind of have, if Mesut Ozil kind of had Odegaard's willingness to adapt to the new age, or David Silva, for example, that's another what if. But I always say, when we speak about what if everything that was supposed to happen to these players happened? Really? So yeah, man. So yeah, man. Sorry, folks. It's probably my next content. NBA's back. Tonight, 1 a.m. The best team in the NBA is back. The Bulls. Playoffs, baby. I know we're not good, but get me doing what we did. Think about it. Mourinho brought back the 10 role for Snyder, bro. You see, I don't think Jose Mourinho gets enough respect. I think he gets, you don't even have to respect Jose Mourinho, but you do have to respect what he's done in the game, what he's won. Like Jose Mourinho, if anyone wants to learn, obviously he's not the same, but man management, having soldiers, people that will run through bricks for you, running through bricks for your team, bro, Jose is one of the best to have ever done this thing. Jose is one of the best meticulous planners. Jose is one of the best football managers I've ever seen with centre halves. If there's one thing Jose Mourinho knows about, is centre halves. DG, you're gonna do NBA watch-alongs anytime soon, my guy? Allow me. There's no way I can do up 3 a.m.s and that. You think I watch it until I fall asleep and then catch what I miss is a highlights thing. Big up the foreign. That's why I rate you lot in foreign countries. See you lot that wake up to watch all these football games. I only go for it once a year, like around the summer when Arsenal's in America or Asia or somewhere. I respect you lot. I ain't got it in me. And I don't like basketball that much. Like I love football. Football, I'll be there. If Arsenal or there's a big game at them times, I'll be there for you lot. NBA, no. And plus, I don't know the rules. Man, just shouting free throws and he's blocked him and whatnot. It's crazy. Jose's legacy needs mad respect. I feel post 2000 kids just see him as washed, and that's true. But to be fair, I think no one can run from evolution, and I think Jose's biggest problem is I want to not say it like this, and don't take any badness away from this sort of thing, people. But for me, I think football's not like men are not men in a footballing sense anymore. Like 23-year-olds were like men. You look at Lampard and them things as Lampard, as Jose has said. Now you get at anyone from 9. Player power is too big of an issue, and obviously Jose has elements of galvanizing and stuff. He's still winning stuff to this day and getting into finals to this day. But player power is the strongest thing. You more have to do the Wenger thing around players, which is also another trait I like. So I think that lacked Jose, if I'm honest. And I do think I love Jose, and I'm sure privately he was a humble man, but he was quite arrogant. So life kind of humbled him in that regards. So I always take the lesson from Jose: be a bit more humble. I take the lesson from Sir Alex Ferguson: bully everyone and quit before you need to quit, because he left United at a good time. And for Wenger, I'd always say Wenger, I look at Wenger as a philosopher. If I'm honest with you, a lot of things he says about life make sense. Always have belief, have conviction. Life's about suffering. There's a lot of philosophical things I take from Wenger, but the biggest lesson I was taught from his career is don't overstay, because you stay at a club long enough to be a villain. You could make out he probably should have left. And obviously, Wenger kept us afloat. He did so many things, but you could argue, just be a lazy view on it, should have cut out in 2014 when we won the FA Cup, which I was at the ground. And as I told you before, I was in the whole section and we was 2 goals down. I looked at my nephew because I took him and it cost me an arm and a leg and we was almost there. I was looking, the whole fans are there. They're chanting, same old Arsenal is cheating. I'm looking around like, swear down, Arsenal. You're doing this to me. You're doing this to me. Whole fans fighting each other. Some man that just burst. They didn't even know that it's an FA Cup final. Like, you're doing this to me. And that's why I'll always love Santi Cazorla, because when I looked at that pitch, I saw him gassing up his team, that 4-foot Spanish magician. Thank you, blood. But yeah, you should argue he should have stepped then. Maybe should have stepped when we returned it. When we retained it, apologies. Probably should have stepped after the Chelsea one, if anything. So yeah, true that youth players in Jose's era were made to clean boots. It's not even, and I hear that, I don't even think it's a cleaning boots thing. It's just, bro, man can just get onto the agents. Like, you get onto me, it's an agent thing. Like, managers are more disposable, Whether Ten Hag, like, take Jadon Sancho, for example, whether Sancho is right or wrong, or Ten Hag's right or wrong, I don't know. Sancho's been there a couple of years and I don't know his contract, but you'd imagine he signed a 4 or 5 year deal. You'd imagine there's about 3 years left. I'm not saying Ten Hag's going to get sacked, but could you make a case that contractually Sancho will overtake that, will last better yet longer than Ten Hag? Probably. And it's a bit different because Chelsea are an enigma, but let's just say you're a Chelsea player and you sign one of them 8-year deals and Poch is talking nonsense to you. Knows he's gone. How can you hate Wenger? Never say that. Never say that. He should have won more titles. That's also something he should have done. But you can't hate Arsene Wenger. He revolutionized this game. Arsene Wenger ran so every foreign manager that's ever been in this Premier League could do what they're doing. Let's respect the guy. Let's respect Grandad. Let's have some respect. Ferguson won the war. He definitely gave him some battles. Arsene Wenger was the first foreign man to come and talk something to Ferguson. Invincible, you know. When you think of player development and seeing the future and all this sports science, all this business, Wenger was ahead of that. Scouting ahead of that. And obviously Wenger didn't adapt. Let's respect him, man. He probably would. Arsene Wenger was arrogant at times. All of these men are arrogant. To be fair, you need arrogance as a manager. But let's respect the guy. He had a lot of faults. As I said, we should have won a lot more trophies. I kind of blame us because we were, you know, if we dealt with Man United when they won in 1999, there wouldn't be trebles if that FA Cup tie didn't go the way it was. Wenger just too attached to the football club. And let's be honest, you know, as much as I love Grandad, you know, he always likes to mention I could have went Real Madrid and all these things. Certain things you're doing at Arsenal, you wouldn't get the time to do that at Real Madrid. I would love him to be back at the club in official capacity, but realistically, it probably doesn't make sense to have Arsene Wenger back. Because how can you really have a new era and have him like in a director role or anything like that? And you know, if it was someone less attached to Arsenal Football Club, sure, why not? But is he going to be able to make the right decisions for Arsenal or Arsene? And he's extremely more experienced. I'm sure he would leave Edu and Arteta to their devices. And I know their time has been and come. But if you're Arsene Wenger, you're probably going to try and son Arteta and Edu. You probably see them still as former players. So it's probably a fallacy. That's arrogance. It ain't. Sorry, that's cap. It ain't arrogance. It's called being confident in your abilities and know how weak minds call it arrogance. Wenger's one. You're moving mad, G. Bro, yeah, nah. Don't get twisted. Wenger, bro. We've been through some mad times, innit? I met Wenger once. Actually, a nice guy. I'm so jealous. Like, that's one man I'd love to meet. You know, I've obviously I ain't met bare famous people, but the only time I've been starstruck is when I met Zola. And no one believe, people that went to the open day will believe me, but like, it sounds bad, but Zola was giving a talk and I was sat near the front. I want to talk to Zola. Started talking to Zola. It's like the conversation just shifted to us. I can't remember what I asked him, but he was like, good question. And he's talking. It's a bit like Wenger. He's talking, very small man, soft spoken. He's talking and he's just making me see what football's about. And like, I'm just looking at him and I'm like, he's talking and it's not like I'm not taking it in, but I'm looking at him like, you know, you're Zola, innit? Like, do you know you're Zola? Like, that's all I'm saying internally. Like, you're looking at someone and you're listening, but you're like, bro, yeah, you're Zola, you know? Absolutely crazy. Hate is a strong word. And that's where with Wenger, you got over, you know, I think now that the dust is settled, people can see what he done, the good or bad. But there's many people that, let's be honest, you know, Arsene Wenger had a lot of followers that at times it didn't make sense. I'm a Wenger follower. The reason I see football in the way I do is because of him and a certain coach I used to have. But I don't follow anyone religiously. And there's a lot of people who hate Wenger's guts because of Arsenal at times and probably not realistic during times at the Emirates, not achieving, and they'll be dishonest. And that's why you can't stay in anything in life. You can't stay long enough to be a villain, essentially. That's why I rate Alex Ferguson, because in hindsight, maybe he could have left Man United in a better state, but they spent money. They tried to bring in us. It didn't work, but Phil Jones was rated them times. Kickoff is shortly away. Phil Jones was rated them times. Smalling, the next Rio, next Vidic. They had a couple players. He left when they won the league. He left when the sun was shining. Wenger was sacked, unfortunately. That's just the reality of the situation, man. I mean, I don't think I'll get starstruck again. If I see Henry, if I see 50 Cent, kickoff hasn't started. If I see Thierry Henry, 50 Cent, or Ronaldinho, oh my days! If I ever got to meet Ronaldinho, God, please let me make it in this YouTube thing and let me but Ronaldinho, please, man, please. I won't be able to keep composed, man. Like, oh, Ronaldinho, you don't know how many. Not on a biblical thing, but followers you have, like, you don't know what you mean to me and a lot of people. You don't know what you did for my childhood without knowing you. You don't know what you did for my school years, man. You know, I'm only 28, so for around my age, I'm sure a lot of you in IT, you'd flick on YouTube and you would watch that infamous clip of him hitting the crossbar like 20 million times. And obviously we know it's edited, but because it was Ronaldinho, I believed it. I was one of them like, no, it's real, man. It's real, man. And people were doing their own little VAR thing. People are pausing it, zooming in on the, oh, Ronaldinho, you don't understand. People wearing headbands and that. Absolutely crazy. I ain't getting starstruck around Megan Good. You know, I'm getting my suave on. What do you think this is? Think I'm moving like Borussia Dortmund in the final third? I'm trying to finish, girl. Newcastle will kick off the second half. Big up you lot, people. Again, 45 minutes. I don't think Newcastle are out of this by any stretch of the imagination. There's enough in them to get something from this game, but they have to take the chances. In my opinion, if Borussia Dortmund get anything less than 3 points, then poor finishing is what they have to look at. Man management overrated in today's game. How many great players have come against Pep and his locker room skills? Players' feelings be damned. This about the wins, baby. It kind of is, but Pep's unique in that Pep can rub you out, but to a degree, I think you're wrong because obviously, like you, Arteta, Pep. Obviously, I'm capping a bit with Arteta, putting him on the level. But you know, these man or Eddie Howe, for example, all these managers that are being praised for what they're doing tactically and stuff, they can have all these ideas. They need to convey it to they need to pull it in a way. Because don't forget, just because Pep understands football and a mad thing, respectfully to Jack Grealish, yeah, Pep understands all these things and these fancy diagrams. Do you think every player can understand all that gobbledygook that they see? So they have to dumb it down and be able to explain it in a certain way. And crucially, they need to get players to buy into it. You can have all these ideas, but people need to buy into it to implement it. And that's where I kind of had some confidence in Arteta, not comparing him to Pep. But when we was getting rubbed out, obviously, you do interpret it a bit as lip service because players are never going to come out and say, yeah, I don't believe in the manager's tactics. But they really seem like they believed. Anyone that spoke to Arteta or anyone that rubbed shoulders with him, they were singing his praises. You need to get people to buy into it. So I wouldn't say player management is overrated. And if anything, it's more important than actual tactics because people got to buy into what you're doing. And you lose a couple of players and it's done. That's what I mean. If you watched Ronaldinho, kind of hard to be impressed by Kevin De Bruyne. Doesn't mean any good player, though. Bit of a stray for Kevin De Bruyne. I understand it, but you pull it in a mad way. But that's what I mean by that's creative for me. But De Bruyne is a bad boy. Allegedly, Dembele scored, but there's VAR. Bro, I still watch clips of Jogo Benito. Them days were the best, man. Dan Burn advancing forward, skips past Marlon. Oh, right. He tried to backheel it. Didn't bang. I wish Wenger was more cutthroat. And to be honest with you, as I just said with player power for Jose, you could argue that harmed Wenger because when you've got people, and not even just to say this man thing, if you've got people of a certain caliber, then Wenger can, Wenger's biggest strength is that he would trust in people. And it can't, when you had the Omris, the Vieiras, them kind of man, they don't want to let Grandad down. I'm not saying players at the Emirates did, but you can kind of hide behind that. Joe Linton is receiving a telling off from the referee, folks. For what reason, I don't know, but yeah, he's getting told off. 47 minutes on the clock. Marco Reus, Wolf, turns on it. Who does he find? Don't know, but he found someone. Hard foul before the move, no goal. City just scored a Kanji with a goal. Joey, it looks like your accumulator came through, my boy. Terrible by McGann. You got to save that. Looks like his bacon was saved. Ronaldinho made me fall in love with football. He's smiling. Facts, DG. As much as I love Klopp, I don't want him to stay long enough to become the villain. That man brought so much happiness to my life, bro. I don't want him to go outside. But that's the thing. And I don't think Klopp will because obviously Dortmund are in here. Felix shot cannons off a man. Obviously, Klopp loves Liverpool. It's a match made in heaven and that, but it's not like he's going to get to run it like Ferguson to a degree. It's not like, how Wenger, Arsenal was kind of made in Wenger's image when we hit to the Emirates. I don't think he will. And I just don't think managers will stay forever. But in terms of today's day and age, really, like, Klopp's been there forever, can still be there forever. Pep, it's a case of Pep goes, I'm not getting sacked in it. I can't see a world where Pep gets sacked. I would say with Arteta long term, but I don't think Arteta is going to be here for like 10 years and all those things. I don't think he'll be here longer than Klopp was at Liverpool. I just think he'll go off to them bigger clubs. I hope to be wrong, of course. I don't think you see managers like that again. There's no patience in football nowadays. I'm not saying that you need patience for the sake of it, but there's need for instant results. Young players to instantly be the best thing since sliced bread, and things like that. Generally speaking. It's getting a bit scrappy. The quality has dropped, man. Maybe the fact that these lot had 15 minutes to sit down, both teams appear cold. It looks like the goal stood. Dembele's goal stood then. I can see Arteta going to Spain in 2-3 years. Arteta is quality. Long may it continue, because now we're at the point where, even though I like Arteta, now it's time where, you know, I'm not saying like sack anyone if we don't win champs and prems. I don't think that's realistic necessarily, and I don't think you should live or die by that. But we're at that now where, Gaffer, you're a good manager now. Let's deliver 1-2 things and create some history. If Klopp gives me one more Prem/Champions League and boss out, I'll be cool with that. I don't think he's going to renew after his contract is up in 2026. I don't have any evidence to go off. Or man are saying there's no goal then. I don't have any evidence to go off, but I just think Klopp looks like one of them that might just go into international management. I think he might go do the German thing. And to be fair with you, from a psychological point of view, managers at some point, it's a serious demanding job. Like, you look at, unfortunately, we all know the scenes with Conte rise at Spurs. He lost people close to him. But when you hear him even speak to this day, it's like, my wife and this and that. And football's got to be lonely, because obviously you're thinking about football every day. But when you turn off that laptop at the end of the day to relax, and your family's not there, your wife's not there, and things like that, and you're not necessarily getting results, it's a lonely world. Football's a mad place, you know. If you're a player or a manager, when you win, everybody loves you, bro. If you lose, you're the worst thing ever. And I feel sorry for managers. Obviously, it's not always like this, but when a team wins, we talk about the players. When a team loses, it's all about the manager. Dembele goal. I'm confused, man. So does the goal stand or not? It's been ruled out. I'm confused. Big up you lot anyways, man. Big up my correspondence. After PSG, these man thought it's downhill from here. Marlon looked like there was a late foul on him, but he's continuing to go. So it's 2-0 to PSG now. Let me see what Google is telling me. Whatever Google says, that's what we're going with, people. Marco Reus goes for the shot. The idea was good. The application was horrible. It's 1-1 between Porto and Antwerp, people. Let me refresh the page, because it said it's 1-1. It's 2-0 to PSG. The goal has stood, people. It looks like Osman it's Koulibaly. So what's all this Dembele stuff? Koulibaly has scored, people, and double PSG's lead after Mbappe scored the first. It's still 2-1 between Celtic and Atletico Madrid. It's 1-1 between Young Boys and Man City. It's still 1-0 to Leipzig and 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund here. Big up yourself, GD. Big up you lot. Well, you know what? If you're not happy with this Newcastle Dortmund game, people, it's you lot's fault. I gave you lot the opportunity to vote. You lot voted for this. And I'm not saying I'm disappointed necessarily. I'm just pointing out the obvious. $52 minutes on the clock. Feels like the quality has gone down. Marlon fouled by Dan Burn there. You think Arsenal are in too many competitions this season? I think we should focus on the Premier Champs. Obviously, I want that to be the priority, but we ain't earned the right to say we're going out of this comp to do this and that. Any trophy these young boys can get, the better. I think the players, they want to go as far as we can. Of course, there might be a time if it goes ideally, you know, we decide the stronger teams go in such, but no, we need to focus on everything. I'm an Arsenal man. I always want the FA Cup. Of course, I have Champions League aspirations. Whether we're able to do that is a completely different thing. Of course, I want to win the Prem. Whether we're able to do that is a completely different thing. The Prem, in my opinion, if you do push me, it is a priority, because that's the most games. That's the domestic league, 38 games. You want to get in the champs before, and obviously that's more of a catalogue if you're playing good or bad. Champs is about giving a good account of ourselves. The league, the two cups, FA Cup, I think we've gone out of it far too early and in disgraceful terms after we won it last under Arteta. League Cup's not the biggest priority, but if you can win, why not? Young boys putting in quite their game against City. Bit of a testing period generally for Manchester City, but you'd back them to get through that. Oh, that's a borderline foul throw. It's flicked on by Nemetra. It's met with a Magpie shirt. Trippier. Bruno Guimaraes. Oh, he's asking a lot of Dan Burn, man. You know he's a centre-half playing left-back. Sold him short. And it's given back to Dortmund here. Newcastle should have enough bodies. Refs in the way, really. ref, that's surely Dortmund's ball. Great defending by the referee. Said treble drunk. I hear it. And that's always a thing, though, man, because when you reach the pinnacle, it's difficult to maintain there. And anything less than a treble would be an anti-climax for City, even though it's not that it's not realistic for them to win the treble again, but like, man can't always win everything. Pep Guardiola has bullied this league. Treble, 100 points, all these things. Absolutely ridiculous. Callum Wilson is by himself. He's got a lot to do. What can he do here? Tries to pass it. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably why I'm not a striker, let alone a professional footballer. But all that running, I'm having a shot, even though it's actually good he looked up. Wait. Nemecha's goal 10 minutes ago in the 45th minute. Still the difference maker here. I must admit, the way it started in the first 10, I did think there'd be a couple more goals by now. AC Milan getting sliced open. City are incredibly impressive, but incredibly boring to watch. I get that as well. They're so good and it's so choreographed. It's not the most of entertaining games, but I'd take that. I'd take what City are doing. It's like Pep Guardiola's playing with a controller. It's dodgy defending by Borussia Dortmund, don't you not think? And they could be back. They have to score Newcastle. Callum Wilson, how has he missed? It's chances like that decide the game. Honestly, Callum Wilson, who I said would score today, horrible. Should have bagged. It's a good save, but is it a poor finish from a lethal striker? Daniel Marlon in a foot race against Jamal Lascelles. By himself, needs reinforcements. What can he do? Cuts inside. Trippier can't foul him. He goes for the shot. It's deflected. It was horrible in the end. Needs to get up or he's going to get subbed. Summed up Daniel Marlon's day. And if I was one of his teammates, I'd be annoyed. We're away from home. You're taking your sweet time getting off the floor. What is going on? It's 2-2 between Celtic and Atletico. It's 2-1 to Porto now against Antwerp. Antwerp took the lead, so I don't know what's going on there, but it can't be nice. Dan Burn. Joe Linton. Obviously, Newcastle also losing, but it's a double headache in that Isaac had to come off for Callum Wilson. No clue on what that injury is, but yeah. Oh, Gordon could be in here. He's gone for the shot. Had to take it first time. There was a slight deflection. He rallies up the fans, and it is currently a corner kick, people. Didn't have much time to think about that. Half an hour left, folks. Corner kick, and we're all waiting. Ref, how long, man? Oh, the ref's going to have a talking to people in the box. Morata with the goal for Atletico. Dortmund might get a result here. But I don't know, man. Newcastle have to keep their discipline. I think Newcastle could get a goal. I think there's goals for both teams in this, man. I'll be very surprised if 1-0 settles it. Ball into the box, headed out by a yellow shirt. Anthony Gordon skips past one. Finds Guimaraes. Guimaraes not been as good as he can be today. You know, if he could turn on his quality any second, it's a big boost. Fabian Schär has to go to Guimaraes. Kind of dropped him in it. Guimaraes skips past one. The yellow submarine will hold in firm. Boy, that move comes to nothing. Eddie Howe in talks with his coaching staff. I wonder what they'll try to do. Bro, that young boy finish was lit. Oh, Edison got lit. Oh, people watch this if you got a second. Edison in no man's land. If that was Raya or Ramsdale, mate. Speaking of goalies, Dortmund keeper played it to a teammate. Wolf tries to pop off a nutmeg, gets fortunate because it's still a throw. Ref, surely the throw-in's not there. I can't like this is elite dark arts. He stole numerous yards there. And he's found Marco Royce. Royce up against Longstaff. Good strength by him. Finds a teammate. Good play by Daniel Marlin. Great play by Daniel Marlin. Great play by Marco Royce. Great close control. Fabian Sarr. Great slide tackle. Great passage. Very entertaining passage there. Good persistence by the Dortmund duo. Good sliding tackle by Sarr. Wonder ball cleanly. Looks like he's got a cut on his knee. Borussia Dortmund headed out. Callum Wilson. Great tackle by Scholarbeck on him. Helps Callum Wilson up to his feet. Great sportsmanship. Messy chip. Hear it. Trippier inverting into midfield. Bruno Gomares loses it cheaply. He makes up for it though. Lovely commitment from the Brazilian Geordie. And he switches play, finds Gordon. Gordon, you lost the ball in the build-up to Dortmund's goal. Can he make amends? Joe Linton forced backwards, but Newcastle retain possession. Bruno Gomares drops a shoulder, skips past from the Metcha. Plays it back into the left-hand channel. Joe Linton tries to pull it across goal. It weren't the worst. Is that a corner kick? I think it is. Callum Wilson's shot was blocked. It's 2-0 to Leipzig now. Nasty goal. I think it's actually Edison, in goal. The clip's not the best. Surely that's Edison. Yeah, that's Edison. What's that? Smell gender. Great contest, this. Big up the Twitch and YouTube ones. Nice goal by young boys. Brilliant. Something to tell the grandkids. The trouble-winning goalkeeper. I popped it over him. Boy. Hey, Kareem Adeyemi. Looking to enter the fray. What's the City score? 1-1. Last time I checked, but let's have another. Let's refresh the screen. Marco Royce, the captain, is coming off. Yes, it is still 1-1. Edison is mad over it. Harsh, man. I don't think he's the best goalkeeper I've ever seen in my life, but top keeper, man. Tonali. Well, to be fair, this is one of Tonali's last games before he gets abandoned and all those sort of things. See what he's on. To be fair, I thought Tonali could have been a candidate to start. Fabian Sarr. Hooked clear by Dortmund. Tired legs from both teams with half an hour left. Possession, very careless from both teams. Man City have a penalty, allegedly. That team I won't try to pronounce. Boy. Big up you lot, people. Lascelles. Trippier. Looks like two subs. Looks like Joe Willett might be coming on. And Tonali. I wonder if that's a change in formation, or I wonder if Bruno Gomares is a candidate to come off potentially. Who knows? Oh, just too much on it. Couldn't find Almiron. Apologies, it's not Joe Willett. Josh Murphy. I wonder who's coming off for Newcastle. Odegaard wake up. Tonali, Eddie Howe gambling it all. To be fair, it's kind of smart to utilize him as many times as possible. Joe Linton's come off. Boy. Oh, PK fell through a stage when trying to sign a fan shirt. I hope he's all right, mate. Throw into Dortmund. Finally taken. Almiron dispossesses his opponent. Someone falls, but it looks like he sat them down. Almiron attacks the space, tries to deliver a ball into the box. It's not the best. Nemec has done very well. Oh, no, I thought he found the pass. City are winning 2-1. Newcastle need to be careful now. Adeyemi is lightning quick on the counter. True, but the final ball into him. But you are right, though. The more they try and chase something out of this game, the more they're susceptible to such. And at some point, they're going to have to gamble. Trippier, Murphy. Hooked clear by Dortmund. Wait. Pope. Lascelles. Trippier. Punches it into the channels. Tonali does well, really. Newcastle could be in here. Almiron. That's a decent ball into Wilson. Wilson, sorry, folks, needs to pass it. Chances like that can't go begging. Dortmund, can the sucker punch arrive? Karim Adeyemi, first touches of the game of note. Down this left-hand channel, what is he going to do? Can he put a ball in? Tries to cross it, it's blocked. Corner kick. I don't know how they got the pen, really. Boy. Karim Adeyemi, is he playing on the left or is he playing on the right? We'll have to see. Appeals for handball from Dortmund. I don't blame them for appealing. You have to do a lot. So beats him with a ball into the box. Headed clear by Longstaff. Pursued by Gordon. Daniel Marlin tried to pull it back into the box for Dortmund. The move's still alive. The offside flag isn't coming up. And that's good play by Nemec. Where is everyone else? It's an important flick by Tonali, but why did everyone go to sleep? Boy. Boy. Still early doors, people. I say early doors. We're getting to that chance where it's got to work, man. Still 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund. Camera of young boys caught Rodri in the box and the ref pointed to the spot. I feel like Newcastle beating PSG 4-0 was a miracle. They were on it that day. Football's a psychological game. Newcastle ain't played as well as they can. They ain't been poor, but they ain't done enough. They've had chances of their own. They've not really converted it. I wouldn't know what Eddie Howe has told them to do, but the way everybody's played, I wouldn't say he's happy from a tactical point of view that they deployed everything they worked on. Trippier. Murphy. It's fouled, but the play can continue. Bruno Gomares. I was about to say he wants too long in possession, but he's shown why he's quality. Almiron. Gordon, he's forced Gordon out wide. Gordon's tried to cut it back, and it's important. It's an important clearance from Dortmund. Callum Wilson's asking for a lot, appealing for potential pen. Josh Murphy's down. I think he's done his shoulder, you know. He's not moved his shoulder at all. Let's have a close-up. He's not moved his shoulder at all there. I think Milan shagged Newcastle. I think he'd been shagged with the Tonali deal. 100%. They must have known there was some impending cases or something. Does City have a fierce rivalry over there in the UK? I suppose they do, but I'm from London. They're up north. Like, I wouldn't be able to give you an informed opinion. I don't know. I'd imagine Man United Leeds is probably a bit more argy-bargy, but City probably hate Manchester City equally. City hate Leeds probably equally as well. So I don't know, man. You'd have to ask someone from up north for your knife fan. But I'd say, like, everywhere there's got to be heated rivalry. If you can rough PSG up, they don't deal well with it. You ever been Wales, DG? Nah, man. Never been Wales. Never been Wales. Big up Cardiff and them lot. Santiago Jimenez to Arsenal. I mean, his stock's going up with every goal he scores and seems to have done the business in the Champions League again. Big him up for that. Like that might be the end of Murphy's night. You know, unfortunately, the sub might have to get subbed. I think he's done his shoulder. Yep, that's the end of his night. His shoulder's being held in his kit. Murphy is coming off a target. Bit annoying for the manager. The sub's been subbed. And man said, I'm so used to Arsenal. Eddie Howe is using that as an opportunity to bring Joe Willock on. Targeting Joe Willock to enter the fray. Obviously, Murphy's one who's coming off. And who else? Willock up for Murphy. Cool. Is it Dan Burn for target? Straight swap, or is there a bit of a tactical change? Dan Burn, yeah, he looked knackered, to be fair. Edu needs to pull some magic and find another Brazilian gem. I'm with you on that for 100% for sure. Target finds Joe Willock. Willock does well to keep possession, goes home, finds Gordon. Gordon to Gomares. Bruno Gomares, does he fancy the shot? They're 2-on to him, it's over. Callum Wilson asks for it. Lascelles tries to punch it in, and I don't think he meant Joe Willock, but Newcastle still have possession. It's here with Bruno again. Target. What happened to Livramento on that? Gomares. Tonali. Good ball from Tonali to find Trippier. Trippier's been... Nah, he ain't been fouled. He's been tackled, is the best way to say it. Kareem Adeyemi. Don't think he can see anything with that afro, man. Poor from him, really. Very poor from him. Trippier. Lascelles. Boy. Patient play from Newcastle, folks. Jimenez he scored his first Champions League goal in his first Champions League game. He's got 17 goals and assists combined in 11 games. What a season he's having, eh? Wonder how much he costs. Nemecha. Come on, man. Stop showing Tonali getting up and show the game. Marlon needs options. It's great seeing a Gooner. Joe Willock, big him up, man. Can he make the difference for Newcastle? Dortmund having to try to just manage the game. They look a bit knackered. Good play by their left back, to be fair. Tried to hook it for Sabitzer. Sabitzer can't bring it under control. Nemecha's first time pass didn't quite come off. Tonali. Almiron. Trippier gets Newcastle out there. Cut your hair. I was thinking that with Adeyemi. I swear we sold Willock for 25 million. Great business. Great business. Good player, but some Arsenal fans were up in arms for no reason. It's 2-1 in the Red Star Leipzig game to Leipzig. Joe Willock. Where? It's 3-1 to Porto. Goals everywhere. Oh, Gomares tried to fashion the shot. Tonali asking for it. It's with Trippier on this right-hand side. Trippier tries to stand up to the back post. Joe Willock can't quite get there. Target will give chase. And to be fair, sheer persistence sees Target earn a corner for Newcastle. I'd rather Jimenez than Tony, but that's me. Surely a lot cheaper. Dortmund is my German team that I watch, but now Newcastle have Willock on the pitch. I'm rooting for him and Newcastle. I mean, big up Willock, but I ain't rooting for no one, man. Whoever wins, isn't it? Really? Corner kick. I do think Newcastle deserve at least a point from this game. But how are they going to score? And who is going to score? Trippier is going to need to produce his best. He's delivered. Good ball, really. Keepers connected it. Big and strong from the goalie. Very strong from the goalie there. 40 million for Willock. For Iwobi, sorry, even better. Great business. Because what's Iwobi really done? He's had a good career. He's playing in the Premier. He's at Fulham now, but hardly any song and dance there. Oh, good play from Dortmund here. Nemecha pops over the top. Will that be able to be kept on by Adeyemi? Nope. 3-1 to City. The goals are pouring in. Big up you lot, man. Goals are pouring in, it seems, elsewhere. Newcastle have had 59% to 41 of Dortmund. Dortmund have played 206 passes. Newcastle have played 291 with 74 minutes essentially on the clock, folks. You imagine there's at least 6 minutes on counting of added on time as well. Adeyemi's afro is mad. Combing that through must be a mad thing. I do not envy you at all. at all. Looks like Hallier's coming on. Big fan of Marco Reus being told the tactics like he's the coach at this moment in time. Boy, Sabitzer, when he's ready to deliver, does deliver. It's a decent ball. Unfortunately, it's gone out for a goal kick once again, folks. Just over 15 minutes left. We're going to have to see what's in store. Boy, it's gone a bit flat, if I'm honest with you. Marlon. Nemecha, Sabitzer. Oh, that would have been a ball into Adeyemi, but it was red. It was choreographed by the Newcastle men. Leao allegedly missed a big chance. Apparently, the goal was disallowed by VAR for Man City. It remains 2-1 to Manchester City. They haven't got a third. Joe Willock, that touch was horrible. And Newcastle still have the ball. Tired legs from both teams, man. 15 minutes. There'll be a sense of regret depending on the result for both teams. But to be fair, Newcastle 4 points from 3 games. It's a good thing, man. But they just would have felt, and there's still time to do it, that they could have got more out of the game, really. The Newcastle that was there away at AC Milan, forgive me if I'm wrong. And the one that definitely battered PSG hasn't been quite there today. Target. Joe Willock, good ball. Anthony Gordon. Delivers into the box. Headed out by Dortmund once again. Falling to Joe Willock. Don't know what he tried there. Newcastle keeping the pressure on and the ante. Oh, Trippier's got caught. He's going to surely have to pull Adeyemi down. Kareem's done well to keep possession. There's not enough width. Oh, Trippier's giving away the foul. Surely. Oh, he's got away with that. Trippier's got away with that. Oh, God. I'm rooting for Dortmund. Something about them. Always like them. Trippier's got away with murder there, if I'm completely honest. But fundamentally, he's got away with it. Which is a bit mad. Target. Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes in possession. Who's he found? Marignon, yep. Trippier tries to punch it forward. Finds Tonali. Been a bit quiet, Tonali, but you never know. Can produce a moment of madness. Lovely boots that he's got on. Tonali. Almiron. Guimaraes. Trippier. Needs to be a bit more intensity. Sarr. Patiently work from Newcastle. Target. Into Gordon. Back to target. Is that going to go out for a corner? Daniel Marlon hooks it into the stand. With the way the game is being played in the City game, they'll score again. 3 substitutions pending. Gio Reyna coming on. Hallier coming on. Soler coming on for Dortmund. I guess aimed and designed at helping them tick over and get over the finish line. Daniel Marlon, that's the end of his night. Is it 2 up front? Or is Gio Reyna going to go on the channels? Soler's on. Or in fact, nah, man, there won't be a positional change. Fulkirk has come off, so Hallier's just going to go through the middle. Surely Gio Reyna's going to go on the left or the right. I'd be keen to see Adeyemi on the right, if I was honest with you. Might see more of a change. Ref is asking about the coaching staff done of Newcastle is asking how long are these changes taking? And there he is right, really and truly. We'll have to see. Newcastle's pocket's been picked. Oh, ref, man, you're getting away with murder there. Eddie Howe's getting a bit peed off as well. What else is going on in the Champions League? Let's see exactly what's going on. Yellow cards being dished out by the ref, seeming to overstate his importance. It is 2-2 between Celtic and Atletico Madrid. It's 2-1 to Manchester City against Young Boys. Obviously, it's 1-0 at the moment. Barcelona 2, Shakhtar 1. It ended. Feyenoord beat Lazio 3-1. Leipzig are winning 2-1 against Red Stars. 2-0 in the AC Milan PSG game to Paris Saint-Germain. What else happened? Yesterday, you saw Manchester United, apologies, win 1-0 against Copenhagen. Sociedad beat Benfica a goal to 0. Zubamendi did well in that. It was 1-1 between Lens and PSV. Real Madrid beat Braga 2-1. Napoli beat Union Berlin a goal to 0. Inter Milan beat Salzburg 2-1. Bayern Munich, in what was a close game between Galatasaray and Bayern Munich, ended 3-1 to Bayern Munich. It's saving the best till last. Arsenal 2, Sevilla 1. Kylian Mbappe hit the post, I guess, just now for AC Milan. Against AC Milan, apologies. Lascelles. What's going on here, Lascelles? Target. Gordon, 10 minutes left, people. I'd say about 15. Between the subs and the stoppages and all that stuff, I think there's more than enough time. Tonali, Trippier, boy, Almirons, whatever he tried to do, got cut out there abruptly. Don't know what Trippier's appealing there, but fair enough. Bruno Gomes has been given a yellow card. Tonali getting peed off. That Bayern Gala game was not a 3-1 game. Bayern were really poor. Yeah, sucker punches at the end. And ironically, we were speaking about Musiala earlier. His quality he added a sucker punch in that game, essentially, which was quite good. Big up you lot for tuning in, as always, folks. Oh, Dortmund could be in here. Wolf, why are you getting involved? You're a fullback. He's fouled Gio Reyna. Haliel has to shoot. Wanted too much space. Important foul by Guimaraes to win. In fact, I don't think Bruno Guimaraes has been given the foul. But nonetheless, elite tracking back from that man in question. And it sums up Dortmund's day. Even though Dortmund are still winning, they have not been good enough in the final third. Karim Adeyemi. Tonali looks like he's going to take the ball off him. Halle tried to give it back to Adeyemi. Terrible, man. What's going on? Both teams are getting tired, and I can't really say that because them two men are substitutes. It's just a quality thing with those two. You're like trying to compete with Eddie and Ketty off the biggest stink fest of the week off the bench. Crazy. Tonali in possession, battling. Ball still in play there, ref. Trippier just done a cheeky nutmeg on Gio Reyna, sent him shot. Finds Wilson, good shot by Wilson. I think that's a free kick, really. Wilson's evidently being obstructed. Karim Adeyemi down this left-hand side is painful, man. It's so predictable. Earned the corner, but like Adeyemi, I've been gassing you up, man. What's this? I might have to sell my stock still. It's looking brazy. Patrick Bamford missed a penalty. Oh, Lord. That penalty was horrible. Eddie gets no service. I hear that, but like, you were just poor yesterday. 7 minutes left. Corner kick to Borussia Dortmund. Can they get that second goal? What would surely be the end? Nope. Nick Pope collects. Great catch by the goalie. Gordon, that's a great throw to Gordon. Gordon's got a lot to do, though, but it's promising, man. He's earned the corner. To be fair, shout out to Pope. End-to-end stuff at this moment in time. Both team standards have dropped severely, man. Severely. In swinging corner from Newcastle. Delivered. It's a good ball. It's flicked out by Dortmund. Target. Gordon. Lascelles. Boy. It's fallen to Callum Wilson. He's had a shot. It's been saved technically. It's still alive in the box. Delivered. Joe Willett gets a head on it. It's pinball scenarios. Desperate appeals for a penalty. You can never get an appeal. I'm sure they'll have a check. I don't think that's a penalty. Pressure being applied by Newcastle. In fact, the ref is saying, wait, maybe it was. Nah. No chance. No chance. Rightly so. Plays continue. No chance. Hit here. Haaland is bagged. Grass is green and water is wet then, isn't it? 4-1 to Porto. Atletico have had a man sent off against Celtic. Last time we checked, it was 2-2, 4-goal thriller. Champions League highlight show is probably going to be lit. Leipzig are winning 3-1. Goals are raining in everywhere apart from here. We got to be thankful there's a goal, but yeah. And the scary thing is Haaland is only 23 and he's only played 31 Champions League games. He's already in the top 20 all-time Champions League goal scorers. Crazy. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Wait, what's going on here? Gio Reyna giving verbal. Yeah, another one. If you dye your hair, you got to do some stuff, man. Free kick to Newcastle. Boy, it seems like there's been drama in that Atletico Madrid Celtic game, lad. Looks like Target fancies this set piece delivery. Will Simeone ever make an appearance in the Prem? All depends who wants him. Target delivers. Oh, it's cracked the crossbar. Oh, mate. Another corner kick. Good ball by Target. Good header by Callum Wilson. It's cracked the crossbar. Keeper was rooted to the spot. Boy. Kieran Trippier delivery. It's another decent knock. Gordon will give chase and make sure it stays in play. Difficult crowd tonight. Only 54 likes with 74 watching. Tough crowd, man. It's 3-0. Kang In Lee is bagged. I assume that's in relation to the Paris Saint-Germain game. AC Milan need to pull themselves from this dark hole. Corner kick, surely Joe Willock. Has he earned the corner? Ref is saying goal kick. Okay. Callum Wilson's looping header. Cracked the crossbar. And I think the fans' reaction says it all. Kang Lee is good, man. And I don't know where he's playing right now, but Luis Enrique said in the week he sees him as a central midfielder. Good finish by Haaland. He's finally been found. You know, Saliba will do that to you. Erling Haaland has ended a run of 5 games and 543 minutes without a goal in the Champions League. Crazy, man, showing he's human. Emre involved again. What a quality player he is, man. Surely gets a French call-up soon. Obviously, France littered with midfield talents and talents in general. Dortmund attacking finally. Haven't been the case for too long. Surely a corner. Corner kick to Dortmund. Important corner to win because they've been under the cosh for large parts of the game. Boy. It's a short taking routine. It's kind of poor from Dortmund, but it's found its way centrally to Karim Adeyemi. What is he fancying? Looks like he's not sure to stick or twist. Good play there, really. Goes to his centre-half colleague. He goes to their left-back. Well, centre-half, Skolivec steps inside. He's tried to clip it for his striker or whoever made the forward run, and they're on a different wavelength. You don't want to do that now. You're so close to the finishing line. It will feel like a defeat in many ways for Dortmund if they concede, and to a degree a victory for Newcastle if they get a point. Of course, neither team will be happy, and it's not exactly that, but get the point. Seems like every game has been a high-scoring one except this one. Hey, you lot wanted to watch this. I wanted to do PSG AC Milan, but it's always lovely to be here with you lot, and it has been an entertaining game. Boy. If you haven't smashed the like button, do such. If you haven't subscribed with Amazon Prime or followed on Twitch, make sure you've done that. Lascelles, Sarr, Almiron, Bruno Gomares. It's always fun with you lot. AC Milan's been shocking. That's been said a lot. I didn't vote for this. I voted for the AC Milan for the PSG Milan game. Oh man, I'm sorry you was outvoted there, man. Into the last 30 seconds, Gordon's been fouled. Surely about 4 minutes or so I've added on time. I didn't even vote. It's on YouTube, man. I asked you lot in the YouTube community tab. I think on Monday, maybe Sunday, what game we should watch. I wonder if Nick Pope is considering going up for it. Oh, sorry, it's not even a corner. It's a free kick. 4 minutes of additional time, folks. 4 minutes of additional time. See what happens here. It's delivered. It's a looping one. Keeper's flapped at it and got something important on it. Gio Reyna. Me hooks it for a throw. Let's vote for the next game now. Gotta wait till the Champions League Well, Champions League not even next week, mate. It's the week after. Yeah, some of us were outvoted, but it's all good to be here. Appreciate you lot. I'm sorry if he's outvoted, but listen, it's a democracy, innit? Milan are bipolar. I'm not even surprised. 4 minutes of added on time, people. 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. I don't think Newcastle have quite thrown the kitchen sink at this. Gordon bundled over. To be fair, he's always on the floor. Always on the floor. Three minutes left, folks. Well, technically under now in the time it took me to say to you lot. But yeah. 3 minutes of added on time. Go full dictator next time, DJ. I might, man, but you'll always get onto me when I do that. You say, oh, it's meant to be voting. 3 minutes left for Dortmund to hold on. 3 minutes left for Dortmund to hold on. Patrick Schick for Leeds scored an own goal. Boy. Dying embers, man. 2 minutes left. Not bothered about this game, but appreciate your time and knowledge. Fun guy to watch. Joey, appreciate that, man. And I hope your accumulator came through. Saar sends it back where it came from. There's 2 minutes left. Kind of miracle happened. Oh, wow, wow. Hummels flapped at it. His keeper gets him out of that. But, Hummels, one of the most experienced players, absolutely flapped at that. And he's actually, do you know what? Has he actually pulled his hamstring, or is it the embarrassment? You just got to pretend you're injured. To be fair, Hummels is getting on a bit, still continuing. Bruno Gomares tries to play a searching ball forward for the strikers. Doesn't happen. To be fair, the submarine wall is holding firm. Newcastle are giving it a good goal, though. Had a feeling it was going to stay 1-0. 3 points for the MEFC. Milan might be in Europa League group wide open. It's peak. This is why Newcastle are lucky. That's why Newcastle are not the only reason they're going through, but AC Milan are rubbing out. Another corner kick. Boy. Another corner kick. Nick Pope's been told to go. Going on an adventure. Under a minute left. You've seen more dramatic things happen. I mean, the cameraman for the commentary, for the TV needs to wipe his lens, man. That was horrible. Could barely see Nick Pope. Trippier delivers. It's headed out by Dortmund again. It's still alive. Target. Picks a nice pass to Bruno Gomares. Wilson. To Narlich. Falling to Gordon. Gordon. He's cracked the post again. How? And it's another corner. It's when you see stuff like that, it might not be Newcastle's day. They've hit the crossbar twice. Oh, there could be drama. The referee, is it a penalty shout? I'm not sure what's happened there, allegedly, what's supposed to have happened. I'm not sure what the ref has stopped for. I think it would just be a standard corner. Ref making it all about himself. We're well over the 4 minutes. Slight exaggeration. 15 seconds. Trippier delivers again. I thought Pope was going to win that. Last kick of the game. Almiron has sent it into the stands, and that should be all the fat lady has had to say. Dortmund have rained on Newcastle's parade. It is a wet day. They've come to a difficult ground and they've won 1-0. Great 3 points, really. I think both teams poor finishing. I think the keeper for Dortmund deserves a lot of credit. The crossbar hit, the fact in dramatic circumstances, Newcastle hit the crossbar twice. It tells you probably just wasn't going to be their day. Both teams in the first half really had opportunities and didn't quite take them. And with that, people, it is a great win for Dortmund. It's been a long day of streaming. We've played Football Manager. We've watched this game, and we was obviously live to talk Arsenal. So if you was part of all of them, great. Twitch gang, appreciative to you lot tuned in. I hope you lot enjoyed yourself. I appreciate you lot taking your time to watch this with me and your comments and providing updates and everything else. Make sure you're hitting the like button, you're subscribing and all of that. I'm going to love and leave you lot. Stay safe, stay blessed. One love, man. See you all whenever.
There's always just that active when that defenders, I think, like